Hey, it is the Bennington Show. This is a Tuesday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. Already some social media complaints about Vito because the Blake Lively wasn't visible enough. But we were downstairs when she was leaving, and it was a madhouse.
It was crazy down there. I don't think I've seen such a frenzy over a celebrity since I have been working here.
Well, here's the thing. Your celebrity count goes up for a couple reasons. Number one, if you are married to another celebrity, which she is. Number two, if you are a fashion icon, which she seems to be a pretty woman who is followed by pretty women. Women are very interested in Blake Lively. And then three, she's pregnant. So that, for whatever reason, pregnant is a big deal.
She has everything going for her then.
Or going against her, depending on how you look at it, because I would not want that life. Now, I saw this. I don't know how it happens, but with all the paparazzi, she handed someone else her bag and said, here, hold this. So I don't know whether she doesn't want to be photographed in bags that she's not promoting or whatever. I guess this would be like Jordan caught with a pair of Adidas, but this is just me speculating.
That could be it. Yeah. I also heard some guys who were very excited after she walked out, and one turned to the other and said, hey, she did pass the test.
Good. That's good to hear.
Okay, so there's been some tests set up. Yes. She passed. Whatever that test is.
Okay, that's great. So passing your test is the same thing that makes someone a worldwide beauty.
Hey, dude, she passed the test, right?
She passed the test. By the way, you know who passes the test? A very stunning Millie Hatchett that I saw down in D.C.
Yes.
She is stunning. Stunning. And I don't know what youngster she had with her, and I don't ask.
Yeah. It's none of our beeswax.
Yeah. That's her business. But she likes them young. I don't know if it was if he was legal, barely legal. That's where I'm putting it. But that's her business.
Yes. And we're not going to speculate or talk about it.
Chris Stanley, who picked the song today?
Gail Bennington, I know it.
Vito?
Ron Bennington.
And Joey Jojo, who picked the song today?
Gail Bennington.
Joey, it was up to you. You blew it. That was mine. That's my jam.
Damn it.
That's all part of what I call Ronnie B's Summer Jam mixtape that I'm putting out.
I want that mixtape.
Well, when you guys made the mixtape the other day, Gail said, we could sell them. And I'm like, because your mixtape was so good. But I say, yes, other than the fact that we have zero rights to any of that. And every rock star who comes in here is going, all that money gone. All that money gone.
Bennington Bob.
That was my retirement. Now it gone. Bennington Bop. Well, when you do those kids bops, you have to have other children singing it.
Right. So maybe it's just us covering these songs.
Yeah. And I just love to hear like little kids like, London is drowning and I live by the river. Yay! Come on, everybody. I walked past the Today Show and they had her out on a stage, tons of tourists around her, all about that bass, about that bass. Now, isn't that song, are we 2-3 years?
We've got to be at least 2 years since that song came out and became a hit.
Who still plays the top 40 after 2 years?
I don't know. I don't know why it still has staying power.
Well, my mom said my booty should be spread open for boys.
She did?
You can finger my ass if you want. Look how big it is. Somebody, I forget which one, who sent in the internet sensation, the girl with the 70-inch ass the other day. But I have to admit, it was fascinating.
How big is this ass?
It's a giant ass.
It's 70 inches.
That's literally what it is?
Yeah.
And it's not a Kardashian of any sort.
No. This is this woman's giant ass. Look at this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's nothing like that on the planet Earth. But you got to see, like, she'll turn around and bounce it a little bit. I wouldn't even say twerk because she doesn't have to work as hard as twerk. Just any movement, gets it going.
Yeah, like if you start it, there's a certain inertia there, I think. It's just continuously moving.
That's an ass that belongs in the zoo.
Well, to be honest, she's she's kind of centaur looking.
Chris, you might have the perfect lady for yourself.
I wonder if it's natural.
Well, it's so.
Why would it not be natural? Who would do that to themselves?
There's ass implants out there.
Yes,
An ass
but they
implant
look
is
like
hard.
bubble butts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's
those are
just
like
going everywhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't have like a thigh, hip, and
She's very
ass,
comfortable with it, though.
Yeah, she is very comfortable,
I'm gonna say oddly hot.
and she's so she's so teeny in the waist area.
Yeah.
All right, we're
in the rib cage area.
We're going to tweet this out on Bennington Show. It's all part of our social media program that is being just spearheaded by our own Vito because he's the youngster. And you, first of all, I'm annoyed with the Snapchat because I have Kevin Hart on mine and he's selling from noon to whatever is going on. It's just complete sales. The Kardashians do. They're just walking around doing what Kardashians do. It looks like every day is busy, though.
I need to follow them because I only see their Snapchats when they're like become news stories for whatever reason.
Well, most Snapchats are just somebody putting a strawberry over their face and their strawberry face. It's so stupid.
Look at me. I'm the strawberry face.
Vito was selling us on this constantly. Yesterday, he snapped you and him getting ice cream.
Yeah.
The worst looking ice cream I've ever seen in my life. Where was it Mr. Frosty?
It was, I don't know, it was like
Mr. Softy.
A Mr. Softy knockoff.
It was like a frozen yogurt truck. It wasn't even ice cream.
That's New York ice cream. They pushed out Mr. Softy.
and we did the dips, which we thought was gonna help the melt factor, but I think it actually made it worse.
It made the ice cream eating so difficult. It got everywhere.
All right, Steven R. Stack is the guy who sent us 70-inch ass. You can check it out on our Twitter feed. But it is, I don't know, it's once in a lifetime.
I mean,
like her slow movements.
Yeah.
Just moving slow as to not start any trouble.
I know. It's like a little saunter that she has.
She's never flown.
No, she couldn't.
She couldn't afford it.
No, there'd be no way.
Well, they could probably take her on one of those fucking army trucks that they put tanks on and then just drive that right up into one of those planes and then off they go. Like she couldn't get out of the truck in the plane.
She's cargo.
That's fucking so rude.
Why would you call her that?
I'm just saying.
She's a person.
Giant ass.
All right, Rob said, I wouldn't know Blake Lively if she was staring me in the face. Yes, you would. There's no time in your life that you've gotten away from Blake Lively. She's married to Deadpool.
Yeah.
And her and Deadpool, I think they're working on their second child. And it's out there, whether like the Kardashians, whether you want it to be or not.
Yeah.
It's every day.
And you would know her just by the swarm of people that seem to follow her, because I've never seen anything like that here. And we've had huge celebrities come in and out.
Somebody was saying in the elevator that there were 10 paps when she got here. And then by the time she left, like 55 or 60. And then just regular people, because that stops people in the street when they're like, paparazzi's here. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, even people on the outer circle were just stopping and going, I can't see. Who is it? Like
everyone was yelling, who is it? I thought it was all about that bass was stopping by. This 70-inch girl ought to get herself in the next All About That Bass video.
I know.
Made for it.
I've never seen a setup like that.
They say she's the hottest star on Instagram right now.
Really?
Yeah, she's going past the Jen Selters and all that. She's at least gathering more because people are just interested.
She seems like the future. Jen Salter, I mean, she's just been out there for so long.
Look, this girl has a certain wow factor.
Yeah. I mean, she's not like Jen every day trying to work on the ass. She's letting it go.
Like
this is like meeting some person who never had their hair cut. You know, you ever see those people? You're like, man, that's too much hair, but still, I got to stop and look.
I mean, looking at her ass, suddenly you realize, like, Yeah, Jen Selter actually has muscle tone. Like
Yeah.
this is all
About
all
that
ass.
bass. It's all
This
about
is
that
all
bass.
bass. That's 100% bass.
And then it's no what?
No treble.
Oh, okay. Big Comedy 101, we had a girl who was all about that breast. And the judges went crazy for her.
Yes, it was actually at like cartoon level where it started to get like woo hubba hubba. Like they weren't even like making normal sounds.
Yeah, that was great.
They were like, "Are you a cartoon wolf? What are you doing?"
Yes, it really was. The eyeballs were way out. The tongue was hanging down. Their zoot suit was spinning. Comedy 101, we're going to run that 8:30 now, I'm being told.
Yes.
On Opie Radio, and then it's going to play throughout the weekend.
On Friday.
It should be very exciting. Our judges were on point. Mr. Robert Kelly was there, plus America's favorite couple from My Wife Hates Me, Bonnie McFarlane and Rich Voss. And all of them were incredibly helpful and quick to give advice to the young comedians.
They're like natural born mentors. You know, it takes a certain patience.
And Robert Kelly was nervous about it. He's like, do I have the experience to help these youngsters? And apparently he did.
He did.
And then sometimes even during the show, he would say, Ron, I'm not sure I have the experience to be giving this advice. Am I being too kind? And I'm like, but you're perfect, dude.
No, continue on. You're doing great.
By the way, then Robert Kelly gave me one of his fabulous cigars, and we stood out in the street later smoking it. It was just a very nice night. I couldn't even get near Voss and Bonnie outside because the people were so happy to see them. And also, you can't get close to Bonnie if Don's there.
Right.
Don with Bonnie is like a Siamese twin joined at the brain. He's just got his forehead up to her forehead the entire time.
They get that twin speak going.
I guess it's twinsies. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if that keeps up. I just found out this from Kevin Hart, that Blake Lively looked like a dime.
Oh, 10-piece, huh?
A dime, he explains to us, bad girl, too. Got to be a bad girl.
Oh, I thought dime was could be any attractive.
He said it has to be some girl that's basically ready to party, but he didn't say it that way. I'm trying to put it in, our own lingo. He was with White Matt, who drives around, and the reason why we call him White Matt is because he has a white car. I'm like, that's the black girl bit. You don't have to cover for yourself. You're allowed to call someone White Matt if they're the only white guy hanging around. White Matt seemed awful timid to be running in that posse.
Really?
I guess you want a calm driver. You know what I mean? You want a guy who's centered in his life. Now, here's the latest election news, and there's tons of it. One, some crazy kid tried to grab a cop's gun to shoot Trump yesterday. Two, Trump fired his campaign manager, and the way that it played out was really exciting. They said that the Trump kids came in for the meeting with Donald, and the Trump kids were saying to this guy, where's the infrastructure? Where are we raising money? Blah, blah, blah. And Trump became agitated and then goes, you're fired. I wish they would have videotaped this. It played out like the show. But those Trump kids have a lot of pull with their dad. There's a lot of respect that goes back and forth, particularly the daughter. I'm going to say her name is Lalana. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Ivanka.
Same thing. So Lalana was she was they're worried about social media as well. They need Vito on that team. He got a big Snapchat out today where you were almost 80 yards away from Blake Lively with light on the glass. But here's so that's it. And then today they're saying that Hillary has raised so much more money than Donald that it's ridiculous. And he's still in the early parts of getting this together. But I'm going to tell you this now, when everybody thinks something's happened, you got to wait till after the conventions. Those are the first times that you pay attention to any polls. You really need to pay attention more to state polls than the national polls. Al Gore will back me up on that one. He's sitting there going, but I had all the votes.
But I had the numbers.
Well, then I'm going to burn up this planet my own way. So, but that was an extremely exciting day. Now, you've been following Brexit at all? That's when Britain leaves the European Union, thus crashing the world economy, and all of us will be broke by Saturday. That's the screaming news anyway. Well, because of that, an idea has been going around, Texxit. That's if Texas could leave the union. This idea, and Chris Stanley backed me up on this, is Ron Bennington's from at least 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
Texas, in my opinion, is the only state that could support themselves at this time. I think it would be a good idea for the United States to go back to being the United States. Instead of acting like states' rights, and then the feds go, there are no states' rights, fuck you. We literally break up, let everybody kind of run their own deal, and then if there's anything for security of the entire country, then we go, oh, we're all together. You fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. But the country fights too much, in my opinion. Gun laws, abortion laws, gay rights, all these stupid things that come up. By the way, none of them are stupid, but they're stupid how much we fight on them. Texas, if they leave, I think could make it. I can't think of another state that could pull it off.
I know Vermont wants to.
I don't think Vermont's big enough.
But that you think that they would just crumble?
Well, yeah, I think if Vermont wanted to go, they need to go with New England as a whole. That would work.
Right.
Maybe the Mid-Atlantic states. But those things, we need somebody smart enough, brave enough, and who's got the bank to be the first ones to do it. And I can't see any other state than Texas. I don't see New Hampshire running off on their own.
Who do you think they would elect as president of Texas?
Cruz would have been their president at this time. He was a gigantic win there. They're very comfortable with him. Now, if you look at Cruz in his campaign, he played really great in some states, and other states didn't show up at all, which goes to show how different the country is from each other. Cruz probably would be the perfect first president for Texas at this time. Texas always has somebody running for president. There's always somebody down there. So they would definitely have leadership. They've got the money. There's a state that has many big cities. They've got the farmland. They've got the oil. They've got plenty of stuff that they could make it on their own economy. I really don't see this as a negative idea for the United States either.
They also have the ammunition, I think, to protect their borders.
They then would be able to do with their borders what they wish to do. It'll be up to them how they run that border. It won't be up to people who don't have to deal with that border. You got to understand, people in New York or Wisconsin or Washington, there's no reason for them to think about that border every day. The people of Texas, yeah, they should be thinking about Texas. All right, the Queen sent to me, Rhonda, you have a 70-inch tall ass. Looks a pepper. And then Liz says, I've been wondering for a full 24 hours if Chris has all 4 of his shoes off.
No, they're all on. Face.
Liz got a little shout out in the last Unmasked. That was very nice.
She did get a shout out.
Shrekalove was thrilled with hers. Thrilled. Jerry in Virginia. How you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing good, Ron. I think Alaska could pull it off. They have the oil revenue. They don't have a huge population. And also, they don't have a whole lot of infrastructure to maintain. Plus, they don't even border any other state. So I think they could pull it off.
It seems easy enough that Alaska and Hawaii could take a look at this thing. It may. Here's the thing about Alaska. I don't think it would impress all the other states.
Right.
They're going to be on, oh, that's right. Alaska is a state. Alaska, I think, could do it as well, but it's not going to make the other states look at themselves and go, oh, we're going to, do this together. A lot of people go, oh, the southern states. Don't drag Texas down. And I'm not just staring at you, Mississippi, but you know where I'm coming from. I think Texas would be better off making it on their own first.
Yeah, I think the other southern states could be dead weight for them because then they would just be supporting them.
You said it a little more bluntly than I wanted to. It's kind of mean and cruel, but there are some states that are going to need help. The great thing about this is I don't think Texas is going to need any help.
Now, you mentioned Hawaii. I don't think that they could handle the imports on their own because I know that that's already an issue for them, is everything has to be imported for them.
You can live off pineapples.
Chris, that's borderline racist.
I think it might be.
There's other foods there. We're in no hurry for Hawaii. We're in no hurry for anybody. Right now, it's got to be Texas. And this has to be an experiment that runs well so the other states can look at it and go, this is what Texas did well. This will be a problem if we try to do it. Now, Florida, there's the cities, there's, the great tourist industry. The thing is, can they run themselves without going buck-ass wild? I mean, even with having the feds down there, it's still, Florida's teetering at all times.
Feels like 6 months it'll be Mad Max down there.
Yeah.
I think at the very least it's going to look like Cuba. That nothing has been built since they went off on their own.
They're just wasting away in Margaritaville down there.
Yeah. I mean, you would think California might be a chance, but California doesn't even want to be together now. California would love to break off.
Like the north from the south?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely Northern California is a whole different vibe than Southern California. I just wouldn't want any problems between the states. You know what I mean? Like, suppose we did Delaware, right?
Mm-hmm.
They broke off. I think they would do okay for themselves. But I also think armies from Pennsylvania would roll in and try to take over, and it's going to cause problems.
What states do you think would be the biggest feud? Like, if
There's no doubt. This is an easy one because it's happened before in our history, and it almost happens every year at a football game, and that's Michigan, Ohio. Oh. Those people, if left to their own, would kill each other.
They're going to need a DMZ. I mean, they're going to freak out over each other.
We might already need a DMZ there, but they are the only states that I know of that have had a border war with each other in the past, where they took arms against each other. And I'm not kidding you. Every year that Michigan against Ohio, Homeland Security has to look at that for 2 weeks to figure out, what do we do if this place erupts?
Who would be the first that New York would invade?
See, New York is also a state that would be better off to break off from each other. Upstate New York does not understand New York City or its fucking crazy residents at all. Mm-hmm. New York City might even be better to be standing like a Monaco on their own.
A city-state almost?
Interesting.
Okay, if you're going back to ancient Greece, I'll follow you there. City-state. Like Sparta and Athens.
Like
and then no one can remember the other ones. Mm-mm. Macedonia wasn't even a city-state. They were above. They were northern.
They were northern, and I don't think as developed.
They made the Greeks would make fun of the Macedonians.
Yeah.
They basically called them pig eaters. 844 Rock God is our number. 844 Rock God. Hashtag Bennington. I'm prepared to get behind Texxit, if that's the name of it. Here's Vinny, Westchester. What's up, Vinny?
Hey, Ronnie, you're totally wrong with this because Texas cannot support themselves because they pretty much take in, they get as much money from the government as they pay into taxes. A state like New York or Hawaii are giving states that are paying in. New York pays almost 3 times more federal money in taxes than they receive back. So New York is actually
all right, but let's take a look at Texas. Everything that they pay now to the feds, right? They would be paying to the state of Texas. So their federal income would be the same as what they're paying now, but all the money would stay in Texas, and it would be up to them how to budget it.
I guess it's close. It's possible, but don't forget, New York State would be getting that money back plus their state income tax. So you're probably getting 4 or 5 times the amount of money that Texas is getting.
But I think the difference is that you can't just look at money, is New York values, as they say, make it into Washington, and those kind of values are not appreciated in other parts of the country. People in Texas may be totally excited about paying their taxes now because they know that those taxes would be staying in Texas. I think the thing about Texas is they are our most kind of libertarian state, and those are the best kind of people to go out and try to make this experiment work. I think it could end up working for everyone.
Yeah, for the exact reason that you just said, it seems like everyone would benefit from saying, here's the money that I pay into Texas, and then you see the worth of what you're paying for.
Well, because you're paying for things that you believe in.
Right.
Where people in Texas don't necessarily believe in the same things that people in California or New York believe in. And I think they've got the attitude and the infrastructure to show all the other states. Because I don't think that you could just take this United States, smack it on the table like it was a candy bar and have it break off into pieces and think that the other states aren't going to have to come in and help. I think Texas could even get the benefit from the United States for a while. We could send some federal money that way because we're saying this is an experiment that could work out for everybody. Matt in D.C. Matt.
Hi, Ron.
Hey.
There was actually border skirmishes between Maryland and Pennsylvania early on. That's why there is a Mason-Dixon line, because they actually had to scope that out. And Virginia used to claim territory all the way up to the Great Lakes. You can actually see a map at Williamsburg of Virginia that includes like half of the original 13 colonies. So I've actually
Ohio kind of broke off from Virginia.
Everything that is West Virginia used to be Virginia, but it used to encompass most of Western Pennsylvania and some of Ohio, all the way up to.
I got no problem putting West Virginia in with Virginia. I think
it's a long time coming, to be totally honest.
And I think life would be better for them too.
And I just feel like it's like these cousins that they seem to deny. It's like, take them in. They're part of you, Virginia.
Somebody take in Raymond. You can't leave it up for everybody. All right, 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. Texas, ready to exit, much like Britain is from Europe. Let me go over here to Jason in Arkansas.
Hey, Ron B.
Hey, bud.
I think Texas can make it on their own, but to make it really work, you would need Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana all in one. You can make that into one. You got everything. You got the casinos in Oklahoma. You got Texas. They've got gas. Arkansas's got Walmart.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think we're ready for that right now. I don't think Texas is going to be overly nice to Arkansas if we put them all together. I think Texas sees themselves as Texans.
I think also we don't want to make a quick, rash decision based on casinos.
True. Everybody has casinos now. There's too many casinos. Casinos are much like Starbucks or 7-Eleven. They're fucking everywhere. Now, a racino, on the other hand,
love them,
is for real deadbeats.
What? Love video craps.
How could anyone trust that, even for a second? Uh-oh, you lose.
Thanks, robot.
Edward in Florida. Edward.
Hey, great job, guys.
Yes, it is.
Calling as someone that just moved from Texas, something little known fact is that Texas actually has the right to split into 4 independent states with senators and representatives given to them when they join the union. It was one of their requirements when they join the union.
So they're ready to become 4 states at any second.
Yep.
Now,
they have the right to, but obviously, and there's actually maps showing where the lines would divide it.
But here's the deal: that could become the 4 states of Texas.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That would be perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
So do you think Texas could pull this off as a Texan yourself?
I wish they would. I'd move back if they did.
I think it would be the most exciting thing politically in our entire lifetime. I think it would return us to a time like when we had the original 13 states. They would show up together and only vote on stuff like Army and, whatever that was. but no one tried to. If someone in Vermont thought that somebody in Virginia was an asshole, there was like, that's just those Virginia assholes. There's nothing you could do about it because you didn't travel down there and you didn't have to see the news about what they're doing. And let's be honest here. If Canada can run themselves, why can't Texas?
Oh, absolutely.
If anything, it might hurt the United States at first, but that would be, this would all be temporary stuff. Here is David in San Francisco. David.
So, Ronnie,
yeah.
Mexico owes the United States quite a bit of money. Why don't we just take Baja and extend it down for California and have the West Coast Florida? But
now you're talking about invading another place and taking their stuff.
Okay.
And we've done that with Mexico. It's happened. Texas is part of that territory that some people think is old Mexico.
Wait, so he wants
Baja to be all part of Southern California.
Gotcha.
It'd be easier for us, that's for sure. Yeah.
There is a natural break there.
Yeah. But we're going to have to convince Mexico of that. Maybe we can end up giving Mexico Hawaii and solve two things right off the bat.
You know what union I would like to see?
Yeah.
I would like to see the chubby chef states all become one. So that would be like Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota. The one that you ever see the guy who looks like a chubby little chef with a chef's hat? And then it would be like that.
Are you talking about Big Boy?
You see,
Big Boy?
You see it as Big Boy, but Big Boy doesn't have a hat.
Well, why are you going to the chubby chef state? I'm totally lost.
So there's four states, and every time I look at them, no, you don't look up chubby chef. Look, I'll just don't Google it.
Okay.
I made up the name. So it's like
I'm totally blown away here.
So the Minnesota is his chef hat.
Okay.
Then the Iowa is his face. Missouri is his like little chubby belly.
What?
Arkansas is his pants, and then Louisiana is his boots.
All right, let's try. First of all, you are on the spectrum. That you could even see this. But Chris, is there a map that we can color in somewhere? That's what we need. There is a map that if we can color it in, we can see if there's a chubby. All right, Vito is laughing because he's like your puppy. Vito, you see it now?
Yeah, I see it. I Googled U.S. map and a colorful map came up and it popped right out.
You got to have it the same color, right?
Oh, okay.
You're such a dope.
So there he is.
All right. Now that chubby, you see as the belly, that looks like tits and a boner to me.
Well, what's the head then? See, I see his profile, and then he's got this round belly and a little happy chef's hat.
Your ADD is a way for me to say this is why Texas needs to exit. Because we're trying to do something serious. And
chef comes
a young lady on the spectrum sees patterns where they do not exist. This is why I get in trouble in a planetarium. Because when they start to point out the guy shooting an arrow, you'll just hear this in the dark. Bullshit.
I don't see it.
Not playing this fucking game. Derek in Kentucky.
Hey, President Bennington, let's say we lose Texas, and it's your call. Should we take Canada, the country, or just leave them alone?
I just feel like we should just focus on Texas right now. I don't want this to become a battle royal of everyone running around trying to grab stuff.
You got to keep a cool head here. We're just talking about Texas.
Thank you.
And Texas sounds so much better than Brexit.
Yeah, I would agree.
Brexit
is
sucks.
Stupid. But Texit. Yeah, it's not easy for me.
Texit.
Like texting. Text it.
It's not like texting at all.
There's no
Kinda.
T.
It's like exit.
It's like exit.
It's exit with a T.
Texit.
Text it.
Chris in Colorado.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hey, Gail. There's a chain of restaurants called Happy Chef in some of those states. Could you Google Happy Chef, check out the image, and see if that's the chef you're talking about?
We're never going to get back on track here.
Hey, I like the idea. We can just
There is no idea.
No, it's
He's not. That's not the
There.
happy.
There we go.
You just got a guy.
First of all, that's a random image.
The stock image.
Here's Kansas. Kansas, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie B.
Yeah.
Check it out, man. A lot of people don't understand Texas militia is ready to leave.
and they do want to take a couple other states with them, like Louisiana and Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's just one of those things that they're waiting to see what happens in November.
All right, so you're saying that if Donald Trump doesn't win in November, which, by the way, I don't know if Donald Trump is going to be a good Texas guy. I don't know if Texas, I think this could, no matter what happens in this election, become very New York, D.C. centric.
He's too New York for Texas.
I would think so, too. I mean, they didn't want him in the primary. Cruz beat him big. I don't know about adding the other states right now. I think if Texas gets out there, shows that they can run this thing properly, and we don't need the militia to divide this, because we're all going to be friends after this happens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can travel there with passport.
I would treat it this way. Everybody gets their own room. Still the same house.
Okay.
But right now, this fucking house has turned into a great room. There's no walls. No one can say, this is my room. I want to play heavy metal in here. The dad is coming in all the time saying, turn that fucking music down. You've got homework to do. I want to get away from that. Here's a guy who just had his wisdom teeth out. Hard Rock Johnny. Yanni.
Bennington. Here's what we need to do. If you're going to give the frying pan state of Texas, right? Because you have the happy chef.
Oh, God.
Maybe you take the cleaver state, which is Oklahoma, and put it with the frying pan state, and then those guys can go with the happy chef.
All right, first of all, the pills are talking to you, Johnny.
No pills. This was a natural tooth extraction. Just a little bit of Novocaine. Thank you.
Oh, that's a tough guy. Everybody else goes the other way. I have my teeth out, so I got to be gone for 2 weeks.
No, I regret the fact that I did not get put out there for this because it was pretty fucking painful.
Yeah.
I did have a big bottle of ibuprofen, and I should get another bunch of painkillers.
Make sure that you shake that so we could all hear it at home, so we know what
I
you're
didn't
talking
believe you
about.
at first, but then I heard the pills shaking.
Rattle.
Ooh, this guy's for real.
I thought it was a death rattle. I'm like, Johnny!
No.
Johnny!
So, if you're going to divide the United States, though, don't you think that New Jersey and New York would be a very viable combination that could survive on its own?
First of all, no, because of New Jersey. You guys are having enough trouble as a state. You guys don't even like the person that you elected.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing over there.
Well, that's just...
You've elected somebody now who has a 4% approval rating. You were the guys who elected him.
I didn't. I did not vote for that.
If anything, we're going to grab Connecticut, maybe, before Jersey.
Here's the first of all, we're not doing anything. This is about Texas.
This is the Texas.
Connecticut is a state that kind of needs to be split up if we become countries, because half of them lean New England and the other half lean New York. And you can tell just where the hats change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go to a Yankee hat to a Boston hat, or you go into a bar and it turns from a Red Sox clock into a Yankee clock. There's the dividing point. Baseball.
I'll take it. I'll take that bottom half of Connecticut.
You're not taking anything, Chris.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with you. This is about Texas proving to the rest of the country how this works. You guys are showing why it wouldn't work. Because you're ADD. All right, Johnny. Talk to you later, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Later, Bennington.
Eat up those pills. Mike in Ohio. Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going? Yeah, interesting topic, but this was the same conversation they had when the Articles of Confederation failed. This was the Federalist Papers saying why you can't even just have a state like Texas be on its own, because they have to make their own treaties then, their own trade agreements, and if it's counterintuitive to the United States or Mexico, they have to worry about being attacked on both sides.
Well, first of all, you don't see a lot of countries rolling in on each other anymore. It's a rare thing. Second of all, I don't know why
Not
we let
here in the Middle East we do. I mean, not here, but in Russia. That's because we're so big and together.
Yeah, but
you go over in Europe, they do.
It's not like we're not. If somebody rolled in on Texas, we'd all jump in. It'd be like a fucking Irish wedding. We're sticking with Texas. They're our friends. This is done so people can govern themselves. That's the problem that we have in this country right now, and that's why we're having two people run that a majority of the people don't like either one of them.
Yeah, this idea of it's one or the other, it's not a perfect cross-section of American politics.
thank you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that could be happy in their own area of the country. Now, it doesn't mean that Texas isn't going to be shipping computers all over. Yes, they will. It also doesn't mean that anybody lets anything go buck wild the way we wouldn't let it go buck wild today. You know, everyone got mad at me when I said we got to move the National Guard into South Chicago until it's done. Oh, the federal government can't move against the thing. I'm at the train station the other day. There's National Guard all over the fucking place. Why are those people more valuable than the poor people of the south side of Chicago? We got to stop being crazy in this country. Texas is ready to roll. Friday Night Lights. That proves it right there. Friday Night Lights. Now, no one is going to listen to me on this, but it's got to happen. Benjamin, Massachusetts.
How we doing?
Cool.
I am going to put an end to her little chef hat.
Oh, my God.
Man running down the stairs. I'm sorry. I'm going to put an end to it for you.
Yeah.
We have grade school. They teach you the memorization of the states. They tell you he's a little man named Mimo. M-I-M-A-L. And Mimo is running down the center, and you can see him, and they say he's Mimo the little happy elf.
That's
so they call it an elf. I've always I thought it was my own invention, and I always saw him as a chef.
Yeah, he's a happy little Mimo the elf. If you type Mimo in, it'll even put a little mouth and an eyeball on him.
all right. Let me look at this and then send Coach in here to me.
Get Coach in here.
What are you waiting for with the Mimo, Chris?
Look, I got it.
That's Mimo.
This is Mimo. This is what
There
happens
it
when
is.
you Google
Oh,
Mimo.
and he does have the chef's hat.
There you go.
All right, Coach, good to see you.
Hey, Coach.
Coach, you're running the phones today, right?
Yes.
I'm going to have a no insanity clause put into those phones. When people call up and they talk about Mimo, and I'm going to give you an example right here. Here's Jeff in Buffalo. Jeff.
Ron, I got a great topic for you.
Great, go ahead.
Related to food.
Go ahead.
Name a food that everyone eats, but nobody actually likes.
Boogers.
No.
Spiders when you're sleeping.
No, mushrooms.
All right.
Imagine walking into a supermarket, pulling a mushroom off the shelf, and biting into it. They suck.
Yes.
I do eat mushrooms. This
Mushrooms
is so
are a
covered in cheese.
multi-billion-dollar industry. Multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep, but they have to be paired with something or covered
Oh
with
my God!
tons of
Standalone
cheese or-
mushroom.
No, this is
Coach. Do you see where I'm going with the insanity clause? People eat mushrooms all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I eat mushrooms.
On pizza, because there's cheese and sauce disguising.
No, I have eaten a mushroom without any. Yeah.
People make
plain
mushroom
mushroom?
sandwiches.
You're being honest, Gail.
You're not being honest.
If
you've been
what
into it
you
like
were
an ass-
saying is true, every supermarket chain would be saying, "Get rid of the mushrooms. We can't sell mushrooms."
No, they can put them on steak or pizza and cover them with things like butter and cheese, but nobody's going to eat a plain mushroom.
People eat plain mushrooms.
I have done it.
When my sister-in-law is a vegetarian, when I would grill, just get me a portobello mushroom. It's as good as a hamburger. Every single time I'm sitting there cooking a fucking giant mushroom next to wonderful food.
Raw mushroom plain. They taste brown.
It tastes brown?
Don't. Nothing tastes brown. Brown's not a taste.
If you
It's
had
a
to
color.
describe the taste of a mushroom, Gail, when you ate it, what do you think you would say?
It's dirt. Delicious.
Waxy, styrofoamy, and brown.
No. Brown is not a flavor.
I wish that I had something opposite of a prize closet, like a prize jail, where I could send him for 3 years. All right,
You know what? The last time I got a prize from Chris, it arrived smashed into bits.
What did
Thanks,
you?
Chris.
What did you order? Mushrooms?
No, I went in the pretty good prize closet, and he sent me a smashed CD jewel case.
Well, I apologize, sir.
Well, you don't
That's all
apologize.
right.
You make up for it.
No biggie.
You're going to get something new out of the prize closet.
Unsmashed.
Don't even sing Pretty Good Prize for him. He doesn't deserve that. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Coach. You're here on an internship, right?
Yeah.
If I have anything to do with this, you will not pass. There's Mimo the Elf. There's Mushroom Man. I had set up a premise that I thought everybody was going to get behind, and it's turned into an ADD weird that something tastes brown conversation.
He had nothing to do with Mimo. I'm not sure where the brown mushroom thing came from.
Did you run into Christine yesterday about that shirt they wanted?
Yes.
Took care of it?
She's going to pick it up Wednesday. She told me.
Sweet. Now, Coach, you were at the Comedy 101, right?
Yes.
You were, well, she was running things from her position. Never had an intern step in like this. The judges were all happy with you. I believe that the contestants were, some of them look upset. Friday morning, this show runs. Robert Kelly is part of the show. He is hilarious. Boss and Bunny, I don't even have to tell you, they killed. This thing is so damn funny. I can't wait for everybody to hear it on Friday morning, 8:30, and then it'll run on Opie Radio throughout the weekend.
This was such a blast. It was so much fun. I'm excited to listen back to it.
Chris, no, you said you had to edit for the weekend broadcast, right?
Yeah, I'm going to edit for the yes.
If you take out all the fucks, you should have plenty of time.
That's going to kill off at least 20, 25 minutes.
Or we can make it like the Big J special. Beep, 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 beep. Let me go into a story about my stepdad's deep. How much time did he do on his stepfather's penis? I mean, there was some time spent on that.
There was a length of
graphs, pictures. He had it all. Aerial shots. His stepfather has a penis that he's completely impressed with.
He loves it, yeah.
Chris.
It was a life-changing experience.
When you say loves it, it seems...
Yeah, I mean, you made it sound...
You made it homoerotic.
Romantic love.
Not platonic.
And yet, you're acting like there's something wrong with homosexuals, and I won't get behind that. Here's the most important things to me in the country today. And the economy comes seventh. Transgenders, number one. Where transgenders poop, number two. Making sure we have a transgender parade is number three. Because I feel like they need their own parade, not just gay pride. When is gay pride? That's soon, right?
That's very soon. I think it's maybe this weekend. Yeah. I know that there's like some of the parties and some of the events start this week, so I'm not sure if
that would make it Sunday probably then. Yeah. Vito, I want you to be in the gay pride on a pogo stick and a nice Bennington shirt, half shirt. Yes. Let them know what they're in for. Now, I remember at Christmas you were telling us how much weight you were going to lose and how diesel you were going to get. And then you Snapchatted you eating a red ice cream cone.
Yeah. Well, no, mine was chocolate.
Okay.
Gail's was red.
My mistake. You're the winner.
But yeah, I've fallen off the diet plan a little.
Now, the other reason why I wanted to talk to Coach tonight, the U.S. beats Argentina in soccer. And
wait. No. You
can't turn against your own country. This is the thing I would like to say. If you ever root against us in national sports, international sports, you should be taken out of the country.
Because then we see where your loyalties lie.
Right. My background is Irish, but if the United States was playing Ireland in anything, no. I'm voting for the USA. It doesn't even... by the way, Italians do the same thing. Oh, yeah. Staten Island will go out of their way to root against the U.S. in a soccer match. Now,
that's a traitor.
When this happens tonight, when the U.S. beats Argentina, what chances do you think of that happening? Less than 1%, right? It could never happen, right?
I never say never because they beat Ecuador and they're a pretty solid team.
Thank you. Now, would you do this? If the U.S. wins, would you shave your head?
No.
You got to.
Wait, depends. Do I have to shave the whole thing or can I get like a cool...
Well, let's do this. Let's just shave out male pattern balding.
Yeah.
In your head.
Just like a horseshoe spot.
Yes. And put it up there and off you go. Would you be willing to do that? To support?
Yes. You know what? Yes, I will
Okay.
shave my head.
She will
If
shave
the
her head if
US
the U.S.
I will
wins.
shave my head. God.
By the way, Chris would never have hair if he bet it with him. No, he always bets money, so he never has money.
Broke. Dead broke.
And every time it's time for Chris to get a raise, the company just says, but you're just going to gamble it away. No. Why? Why don't I give your fucking bookie a raise, is what they say.
Give you a
Say
shot.
that every meeting.
Yes. Here's Maria in Texas. Maria.
Yes.
Yes. How are you?
Hi. I'm a teacher in Texas, and I'm a little bit mixed on splitting from the U.S. I think there's some things that we would miss. However, I think that we're pretty set on our own. We have our own pledge. We have our own song. We have our own education standards.
You were a country before. You've done this.
Yes.
And you did pretty well.
But I think there's things that we would miss.
Like what?
Well, will we still get Sirius XM?
Yeah. We're going to be the best of friends. We're going to
Okay.
everything.
Can we still be in the NFL?
Yes, of course, and it'll be even more fun because then we can say if the Cowboys ever win the Super Bowl, shit, the U.S. isn't even the Super Bowl winner now. You know, it'll be very exciting. It'll make those kind of things we're going to do all exactly the same, and it'll be up to the surrounding states whether or not you want to put, like border police.
I don't want any of them.
I don't think. Yeah, that'll be up to Texas to decide.
So I'm speaking for Texas. We don't want them.
Okay, good. Well, you're speaking for Texas. I'll speak for the other 49. And that'll be our biggest problem, taking a star off the flag.
Either that or we're going to have to find a new state.
Puerto Rico could be your big day. Now, but the people of Texas, you do a couple things differently. You'd rather not be bothered about it. I think this would be the great experiment. I think you're the only state that could break out and do this on your own at first. And then we'll see after a couple of years whether it makes sense for all these other crazy, New England states or Mid-Atlantic states to do it, Best Coast states. I don't know who else would be able to pull it together. But I think Texas can pull this off, and they're ready to do it.
I absolutely think we could pull it off. I think it'd be fun.
I think it would be really fun. And no, you don't have to worry that the Cowboys are just going to be playing, Houston, and that'll be the end of your season. You're still in the NFL. You're still in NBA. Look.
Would we be our own country in the Olympics?
Yeah, I think it'll be up to maybe not the first Olympics. We'll give it time to pull together. But after that, yes, of course, you could be your own country in the Olympics. Not by the time we do Rio, though. Right now, you don't have the uniforms done.
No, there's no time for that.
Now, is there any downside of this? Is there anything that your neighbors would do that would make it worse for you? Is like any laws passed that you wouldn't like? You're going to lose.
Not that I can foresee. I don't think
you're going to lose. Women's choice things immediately.
Yeah,
but then we don't have to argue about that anymore. If anybody from Texas wants an abortion,
I think what the guy was talking about doing the 4-state thing in Texas, I think would really work out because people who are up in Dallas, where I am, are completely different from people down in Houston and even completely different from people over in West Texas and Lubbock.
That is true that those cities tend to vote blue.
Absolutely.
So, but that'll be up to you guys to work out. I'm not saying this is going to be perfect. Maybe what you do, you said we want to send some of those blue dots away. But right now, you can tell by the governors that you have is that the red people will be able to do stuff their way from that point on.
Right.
All right.
Right.
All right. Tell what age kids do you talk to?
Second grade.
Tell them they're first generation. We need them to have babies as soon as possible and to become part of the militia as soon as possible.
I'll tell them immediately.
All right. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
I have a feeling that they would have like a certain amount of military time that you need to serve, like Israel does. I bet that they would do like you have like a year of service.
I think they're probably most of our military right now, as it is. But yeah, I think everybody should have to do that. As a matter of fact, I think there should be some kind of service, whether you go overseas or you work here in the United States. Because let's face it, these kids coming out of college, they're not ready yet. Anyway, you could still do this. You could do it at 18 or you could do it at 22. It's up to you. But you're fucking doing it. You're fucking doing it. What would you pick, Chris, during your 2 years? How would you serve the United States?
I guess I'd join the Army.
Do you join the Army more than work with, like, you know, kids? Because you could probably use it for park ranger jobs. You could use it for, you know, rebuilding the country.
That would be neat. But then there would also be, like, I'm sure there would be plenty of, like, helping kids, helping elderly. I'm sure there would be, like, tons of jobs like that.
Tons of jobs like that. I mean, let's face it. We force these kids to do internships to corporations. This is basically an internship to the United States. Most people would probably want to be lifeguards in Hawaii. That is not going to happen for a lot of you guys.
It's a select few who get that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that that would make people become better citizens.
The park ranger duty could be pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's always stuff that the park rangers need people to do, move logs and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, you spend 2 years just moving logs around. You're like, fuck, I can't wait to get home. Can't wait to get out of Utah for a while. The Mormons force their young Mormons to go out and help Africans. That could be part of what we do.
Yeah.
The stuff that JFK set up in the 60s that we thought we'd go around helping the world find clean water. Well, if you don't force people, they ain't going to do it. Most people don't want to help Africans find clean water. Vito, what would you be doing?
I would probably go the working with kids route because I already have experience in that, so that would be the easiest.
I could see you working in pizza dough too for 2 years.
That would be dangerous for me.
Yeah. Which way would you go, Gail?
I think I like the parks idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I think everybody would probably want to work for the parks. Me, I just want to tell other people what to do, like I do now. You go do this, you're working at pizza dough. Chris, you're helping young crackheads stay on crack.
I think I could do it, Ron.
You never smoked crack, did you?
Never smoked crack, no.
You know why?
What's that?
White guy.
Okay.
White guys will not smoke crack.
Never smoked that rock.
There's always an interesting thing when you find out when people go, oh no, I don't hate myself that much. I hate myself. I'm doing this other bad thing, but I don't hate myself at that level.
Is that the one line you wouldn't cross?
I guess that or shooting dope. Those are the lines.
Yeah, but it gets right into your blood.
I know, it seems
So
really
fucking
great.
nice. It's a lot better than snorting it. I'll just say that, and then I'll tell the young people not to do it. But if you are going to do it, mainline that shit.
Good to know.
Jeff in Minnesota.
Hey, Ron. First of all, Gail, we love you, but we already have a hat in Minnesota. It's called Canada. Leave our hat alone.
It's a giant hat you're wearing.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, we do speak the language. You know, we know what that's all about. Texas isn't the only one ready to go. There's billboards. I seen 2 or 3 of them last week in Georgia. Secede. And then they got a hashtag secede now or something underneath them.
It's time to break it up. I don't want everybody fighting with each other all the time.
It's going to be the Confederate States again, except for Virginia's got too much Washington, D.C. in it. Tennessee was kind of half-assed last time around, and now with Nashville, they'll never go.
Yeah. And I don't see Florida seeing themselves as Southern. Florida kind of sees themselves below the South.
They're just like a moat away from being an island nation.
Yeah.
Then I think that's like the surrounding states, like Georgia's going to set
Let me tell you
up.
something. They're one storm away from being a fucking sandbar. I'm telling you. They need to come in there with fucking...
Is Florida going to have to put up no swimming signs in their moat? We don't want all these kids to die, you know, with gators and stuff like that.
Too soon.
Come on, man.
Too soon. You put a fence up.
Too soon? I'm sorry.
That's okay. You know what I hate about that? When they put up pictures of the kid, then I had to see That adorable kid.
You want to know something? I was at a barbecue over the weekend, and there
Why
was
don't
a
you just
little.
say that you were at a beer bash?
It was just a barbecue.
It was a kegger.
It was a family barbecue.
Sure.
And there was a little boy there who looked so
Don't.
much like that kid, and he was the same age. And I just kept watching
What?
him the same, like thinking his parents must have just. First of all, you're a parent, and you hear that story and the horror of thinking of
I
that.
don't even think you have to be a parent to be appalled by that.
But I mean that you probably put yourself in their shoes, and their kid looked just like him, same age.
All kids that age look the same. They're all cute kids. Now they're showing Disney putting up a fence. It just looks like too late.
Just close the whole thing down if you can put a fence up.
Close what whole thing down?
Whatever that lake was or whatever. Fucking
Close
fill it
a
with
lake
cement.
Dude, you can't fill a lake with cement. The water's there for a reason.
Oh.
What do you think the runoff is going to do if you've taken this huge lake? Have you ever been to Disney?
Never.
The lake is massive.
Oh, I had no idea.
Then why are you yelling, filling it up with cement? Why would you
First he said close it down.
Get rid of those gators.
Close the lake.
That's why I shouldn't be in charge of things.
You're a little bit knee-jerk. That's your problem, Chris. You're knee-jerk. We're going to fill in the lake. What? I'm sorry. Did I react too fast? I see a lot of my constituents that are not happy with this situation. I'm going to go back to my room, hang myself with a belt. Every time a mayor makes a bad decision. Mr. Mayor! What are you doing? I fucked up, man. I fucked up. I fucked up.
You actually have the majority on your side.
Still.
Oh my god.
Chris, I told you today I wasn't happy with your Comedy 101 promo.
Yes.
How come?
It didn't capture the show.
Let's see. Why don't we play it now and see whether it captures the show? Because this show, we were all there, and anybody in the place was. I never saw such kind of laughter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was scary laughter where I was thinking we might have to call 911. Someone could laugh themselves sick.
Comedy 101. Tell a joke or be a joke. Hosted by Ron and Gail Bennington. Premieres this Friday at 9 a.m. East on Opie Radio. Sirius 206, XM 103. This is the show where open mic comics are mentored by a celebrity panel of comedians. Robert Kelly, Bonnie McFarlane, and Rich Voss.
This is my first time performing at the Stand.
No shit. Ross just broke his bell.
His little hands can't get all the way over it.
Comedy 101 airs this Friday at 9 a.m. East on Opie Radio. Sirius 206, XM 103.
I think first of all, I think it's a little blah, but I also think we don't even know the context of the last two jokes.
Yeah, I think that we could.
His bell?
His bell.
Oh, his bell.
His bell.
Okay.
Was funny when he said no shit though.
That was work. But then, it was out. You don't get the laugh. You don't get the full excitement that was happening there. And I also don't like that this is the show where, you can't, why are you explaining to people?
Yeah,
you gotta give it to them. Let them figure it out.
You can just lose This Is the Show.
I want to make some edits.
It's too late. This thing is Friday.
I know, 8:30 a.m.
I think the promo said 9.
It did.
So you gave the wrong promo time, or
I am cut 2 different times.
Oh.
Or did he just go off on his own?
I'm cut 2 different times.
Let's hear the Ali Wong promo for Friday.
Buffering.
That's part of the excitement of this.
I know.
You never know when it stops buffering. Maybe Coach should be doing the voiceover work. Hi, this is Coach.
And this is the show.
You might know me from letting any nutty caller on the air that wants to be here. Nobody eats mushrooms.
They do.
Let mushrooms be their own state.
So they
the mushroom industry is one of the most competitive industries in the country.
So good.
There are tons and tons of mushrooms being consumed every day.
They're very popular.
What you should say, sir, is I don't like mushrooms, and I'm not going to eat them.
That guy was a weirdo.
Come on, dude. Let's not judge people.
I'm just saying the mushroom thing.
Oh, yeah. I agree with him, the mushroom thing. But why should that be everything for him? You know what I mean? I'm sure he has other things that he's completely correct about.
He's mushroom guy from now on.
You're a mushroom guy because you're always tripping.
Here's Ali Wong Unmasked, the promo.
The next guest on Unmasked, hosted by Ron Bennington, is Ali Wong. It premieres Friday at 2 p.m. East on Raw Dog Channel 99. Ron and Ali discuss her career in stand-up and her groundbreaking new special on Netflix, Baby Cobra.
You know, and some of the jokes I did in the special are like 7 years old. I mean, like I haven't porked a skater in like 9 years, you know?
Unmasked with Ali Wong airs Friday at 2 p.m. East on Raw Dog Channel 99.
I loved the clip because I loved that moment.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. I wish there was just a way that we could get more stuff on. It just seems like we're doing this thing where it's a long explanation, then a clip, and then we're out. You know?
Like if you cut the next Unmasked, then you could just say
Unmasked.
Unmasked.
Friday. You know what I mean?
with
Less
Ali Wong.
words. Ali Wong was very funny though. She's got a whole different scene, but that special that she did was so fucking amazing.
I adored it.
It's crazy good. I can't believe somebody could pull that off 7.5 months pregnant.
Yeah, it was so physical. Like,
Oh, wait, I want to see why Coach laughed at pregnant.
So
I've seen it twice now,
And
and I saw it the first time, and I was like, I came back 2 hours later, and I'm like, the entire time that I've spent away from my computer, from Allie, I'm thinking about everything she was saying, and I'm just cracking myself up as I'm doing like stupid things around the house. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go watch it again, and I'm watching it, and I'm calling people, and I'm like, just get on Netflix and just go watch this right now because it was
Dude,
so
this
good.
is the promo. What she's saying. You should be doing
Put it
man
in
on
there.
the street promos.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
She's so good.
This is true. She took 2 hours off. She's laughing. She claims she was cracking herself up, but let's be honest. Allie cracked her up. You can't be repeating jokes and act like you
these
came
are
up
my
with them.
thoughts. If I'm thinking it, it's my thought.
What if we just had, here's Vito. He's got a big chocolate ice cream cone and said, I'm sorry for lying to each other, everybody last New Year's when I said I was going diesel.
Get swole, as they put it.
Oh, yeah. The amount of times he brought up swole. If I could have wrapped my hands around his throat, I mean, that's impossible. I would have choked him. But what good? It's just like pinching him. That's what it would be like.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it would get through.
Did you go back and watch to see how lame your Blake Lively was?
Yeah, well, what happened was I took the snap, and then she looked up at me when I did it, and I didn't know what to do, so I ran away and put it up.
That's not something a man does.
Fucking acknowledge her.
She looked at me.
Dan in Florida wants to stick up for Gators. Go ahead, Dan. Dan, you there, buddy?
Are you talking Jim or Dan?
All right, I'm gonna. Which is your name?
My name is Jim.
Okay, then that was our mistake. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, hey, I've lived in the Panhandle up by Eglin Air Force Base, Destin, Fort Walton Beach area
Mm-hmm.
since 1985. I've only seen 2 live gators, and those were both on golf courses around ponds. I used to live in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Saw one gator on a golf course. I mean, it's not like it's rampant in the area.
Again, you have to understand that the Panhandle is a different place than South Florida. There's tons of gators.
I've
there.
seen a crazy amount of gators.
Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah, your topography is more like Alabama's when you're up there in Destin. Destin, there's a lot of military people and then a lot of military groupies. Did you know about
Right.
these? Yeah, that they will meet these guys, have sex, and their husbands never even know about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To go along with your what you were talking earlier about splitting, I'd say from Jacksonville all the way across the Panhandle would go with Alabama, Georgia, and just basically everybody up here says just cut the whole bottom half of the state off and give it to Cuba.
Yeah, we see there is that thing. It's a much different lifestyle when you get up closer. But isn't that going to be true about any country? You know what I mean? Any country or any city. Like if you look at Western PA, they're kind of more like Ohio people.
Right.
Right.
Eastern PA, you can't tell the difference between them and Jersey people. But no matter where we put those lines, we're always going to have that problem, you know? So you're going to be stuck.
I don't see why anybody would live or retire to a state that has state income tax. Florida, Texas, Oregon, no.
Right.
state
Well, you
income
are, as you divide off into this, you are going to have, and they got rid of the taxes, the state taxes in Florida because you have so much that you just ream the tourists, right? Every time that you're in a hotel room there, you're paying more in tax than you would anywhere else.
It doesn't bother me in the least until I go to the airport, rent a car to go on vacation, and then I pay through the nose for all the bed tax and that, and the other tax.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They're lucky enough to be able to gouge tourists. That's why they don't have a state tax.
Exactly right.
Also, and if anybody has watched that OJ thing that they've run, you don't want to get in trouble in any tourist state. No fucking way do you want to be a tourist and then have trouble with a hotel over a bill, or they fucking line up all kinds of shit to hit you with that. So when people are like, oh, I'm going to Mexico, I'm worried about my rights. Do the same thing when you go to Florida or Vegas. You don't want to fucking dine and dash in any of these places. You would be shocked how they go after you.
Really? I never thought of that they would have to because of the
It's
influx
easy
of
money.
people. Yeah.
It's easy money. That's why spring break, they used to just hit all the kids with tons of illegal drinking things where you would be underage, drinking outside, drinking too close to this and that. They just fucking rape tourists. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, I never even thought of that, but it makes sense. I mean, it's part of their whole economy.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not bank on also making money off of ticketing those people?
Yeah. It's the same way that you go to a ballpark and you pay a lot more for a beer than you should, because that's where you are now. They got you. They should probably in Florida say, here's a sixer for local people and this is how much we're charging to some of you fucking ham and eggers coming in from England.
I'll take a local menu. I'm local.
Go down to Chinatown. You'll see two different menus. Here's Zach in Nebraska. Zach.
Hello?
Yeah.
How you doing, Ron?
What do you say?
Well, I say that if Texas wants to secede from the nation, we split California in half.
Let's just do this one at a time, Zach. One at a time. Let's do this one at a time. Everybody's thinking out ahead of themselves.
This isn't a Texxit, it's a Texxit.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for summing it up so quickly. Jeff in Jayville. Jeff.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. The only point I wanted to bring up about states like Texas seceding from the Union is what do we do to handle the issue of federally owned land, in particular, say, the Grand Canyon or these large pieces of land throughout the country that are owned by the federal government?
This is a great question. This is one. So let's just focus on Texas. I personally think it should be a gift to the new country of Texas from the rest of the United States. I don't think that we should make this harder for Texas to exit. You know,
You don't think that they should have to pay a fee?
No, I think
to
we
the
should
US?
all be supportive to this experiment because Texas. Now, is that going to happen if we start to break up the rest? I don't know. We might find out that it doesn't work out. But right off the bat, let's give Texas as few problems as we possibly could. And then let's watch it run. And let's say this. In 5 or 10 years, we give the people of Texas a right to sit down and vote whether they want to return to the United States or not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe this thing won't work. I don't want it to be harmful to anybody because I think Texas is the first state that can pull it off. And then the other states could take a look whether they wanted to do it or not. And then your Oklahomas or Arkansas can join up with them, but not right off the bat.
No.
Do not drag these fucking dudes down. I don't want to see them in some kind of a drowning strangulation fucking move with you holding on tight and taking them down to the bottom of what I expect to be a gator-filled pond. That is not in the Panhandle. If you're ever in the Panhandle, did you ever spend any time there, Gail?
No, I really.
Here's everybody down there. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the size of that helicopter. Look at the size of that plane. Look at the size of that other plane. Because there's just these big, fucking massive planes flying over constantly. Because they have the giant bases there. Everyone is just looking up. That helicopter's huge. I'm like, I fucking know. I've been here 2 days. That's my 50th helicopter. I'm not looking up every time. Man, that helicopter was so close, wasn't it?
That's all they have.
They're fucking seeds there, dude. They're fucking seeds. The other day, we saw a giant helicopter. I know, man. Let's stop fucking talking about helicopters.
I feel like the Panhandle is like the way Virginia and West Virginia, like the Panhandle easily could have split off from Florida.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why it wasn't it's very much like the Alabama beaches, which are like one of the best hidden fucking jewels in this country, because there's wide open beaches in Alabama, Mississippi. You can just go there and have beaches to yourself, but everyone just rushes to go to the beaches where they're just stuffed up against other people. But there's beautiful beaches in the Panhandle, gorgeous beaches. But a helicopter is going to fly over fucking closer than you want it to.
Freak everyone out.
No, they just makes them happy. They're just constantly happy.
That's weirder.
Yeah, and they're like, this plane was so low. Did you notice that? Yes. Fucking see planes. I see helicopters. Came here to chill. Not at a fucking air show. I'm on vacation. Here is Matt in Tampa. Matt.
Oh, hey. How are you guys doing?
Very, very good.
Cool. Oh, I just wanted to say that guy that was calling from the Panhandle, he needs to get out of the city. Because if you're not next to a body of water, or you're not, out in the, nature, you're pretty safe from alligators. But anywhere else you go, any pond, river, stream, there's going to be gators, and you just need to be aware of that. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I've been all over Florida. When I first went to Florida in the 80s, they were like, we are running out of alligators. Alligators are going to be extinct. And so there was a no hunting thing. And then within 7 years, they're like, oh my God, there's so many alligators. I'm fucking so, there was a newscaster who was just crying and saying, we're not going to be able to get, but anybody who, dogs have disappeared. Gators is just a part of living down there.
Absolutely. I mean, I lived on the river, and I mean, I would take a canoe up and down, and there'd be 3 or 4 just within a half a mile stretch of river.
What river were you on?
11, 15, foot gators. Hillsborough.
And Hillsborough River is also where they have this big tube race and stuff like that. So you're in these inner tubes, you're going down, and then you just see a fucking pair of eyeballs poking out of the water at you.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that constantly.
Any little gully or kind of still section that they can kind of creep out in, they'll be there. And you just have to, I go in a canoe with my kids every once in a while, and, if there's an alligator, you get the fuck to the other side. Or you, back up and try and get upriver.
You just give it a little room.
You just have to... Yeah, exactly. You got to give it room. And if it's mating season, just don't even go on the river, But give them room. And if, you do decide to go on, be prepared to see a gator and be prepared to fight a gator because you don't know what the hell they're going to do.
All right, Matt, thank you.
The first time I ever swam in fresh water was when I came here to New York, and the entire time it felt really unnatural.
Yeah.
Because that was
There's always a thing, if you were in a pond or a river,
beaches were not the problem. It was don't go near any fresh water source without, knowing where you are, or make sure there's an adult around. Yeah. So it felt very unnatural and scary to me the first time I did it.
Here's Ike in Tennessee.
Hey guys. We used to go down to Panama City and stuff for spring break. You were talking about taxes on the tourists. We would, we get caught underage drinking, and they just make you pick up garbage off the beach and then slap you with like $120 fine. They didn't want you to come back to court. They knew we wouldn't be back or anything like that, so they just get a little money, get a little labor out of you, smack you on the wrist and go on.
It's fucking hilarious too that you can make somebody clean garbage cans.
Guess it's better than get arrested.
Yeah, I mean, you just like if you were in trouble in any other country, you just got to fucking do whatever you got to do. Here's Eric in Kentucky. Eric.
Hey, Ronnie, just what that last guy said, they take you to court in the morning. They tell you you're all picking up trash, but I had a really great experience with that. They bust us all out. This is in Panama City. We got busted with open containers in front of Club La Vila. And my buddy and I were on the bus together. Everybody files off the bus. They're handing out their orange work on the highway, picking up trash vests. And we get separated. Two rough-looking dudes show up, and they say, I need 3 of them. And the guys that were watching us said, all right, take your pick. And he points at my buddy from across the room from me, and then points at me and points at this other guy. And, dumb luck that I get with my buddy there. And we go, while everybody else is picking up trash, we go line and water baseball fields all day long. We're eating under the shade. The guys are giving us sunscreen, and, man, everybody was pretty
You're
pissed
lining a
while they're-
baseball field for an open container.
Jesus Christ!
I mean,
put me in fucking over. Put me in the drunk tank.
while every other asshole's picking up trash on the side of the highway.
But see, this is the only thing. The only way you feel good about what you were forced to do is because somebody else had it worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're now doing a day's work that you wouldn't do in your own state.
Jesus.
Here is here's Blake in Racine. Blake.
Ronnie, what's going on? Hey, the other day you were talking about your experiment for 5 years of gun state versus no gun state. Everybody gets guns, everybody gets no guns. Let's see what happens in 5 years. How does this work with Texas splitting off? That seems like they would be a perfect candidate for your experiment.
Well, first of all, that experiment got shot down by both sides, and I'm willing to admit, hey, I had an idea whose time was not right. This time is right. Texas, on their own, making it work, teaching the rest of the country how to make this thing happen.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt their gun laws will be probably more lenient than...
It'll be up to them.
Yeah.
It'll be the rest of us stay out of it. It'll be a Texas decision. The abortion in Texas decision. If gays can get married, a Texas decision. It'll be up to them.
And they'll finally rule the way they want to.
The thing that would surprise me, and I won't rule it out, because I think, I do think that the U.S. is going to destroy Argentina in soccer tonight. So, I'm extreme. But I feel like within 5 years, the country of Texas would be an Islamic state. I just think that they're going to turn to Islam once they're at that point.
Really?
It'll be up to them to prove me wrong. But I think that we'll be looking at it as an Islamic terrorist state.
California.
Where's that game at tonight? Do you know?
Oh God, I don't.
Yeah, let's get to the bottom of that, Vito. Let's get to
9.
Yeah, it's
9 o'clock.
tonight.
Well, that's a little late for me. I like to get bed early.
It'll go on till.
When go ahead.
Houston.
Thank you. 9
p.m.
Local?
Eastern. Yes.
Good.
Nice.
No, that's local for us, not local to where the game is being played.
The last game, my mom's bosses, some friends of theirs gave them tickets to, it was up in Boston. They gave them tickets to go see it. And they're like, well, we don't really watch soccer. So they offered them to my mom. And mom's like, oh, my husband and I are working. My brother and I are sitting in the living room. We stop what we're doing because we overhear this conversation. We run all the way to where they're talking. And we're like, what the hell is wrong with you? We could have gone. We would have paid for the train. And apparently they even offered to give us a hotel room if we needed to stay the night.
What the fuck was wrong with your parents?
I was so mad. It's just my mom. She does this.
She's an awful person. Now, I told you my friend, Mike Kaka from Molly's, who was the inventor of the world famous Ron Bennington cupcake, he was in Chicago the night that Messi scored 3. He was there for the hat trick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. In 26 minutes.
Yes, in 26 minutes. The guy didn't even...
Yeah.
he gets there and he's like, oh shit, Messi's not playing. He's on the bench. They pull him off the bench. Hat trick. Scores 3. And you know what I said at that time? You should have saved a couple of those goals when you play the USA, my friend, because you ain't getting your shit. Butt kiss. This thing's over.
I mean, the deuce is looking good. Clint Dempsey. The deuce is loose.
Unlike you saying that the deuce is loose. This team.
He's looking good.
We've got a Nazi coach. He's turned everything around. Once we destroy Argentina, who do we got to beat in the finals? First of all, if you would have said the USA would have made it to the semifinals, people would have laughed in your face.
Yeah, I know.
So we've done terrific.
Proud of them.
Yeah,
yes.
They've done really well.
They're your second favorite team, aren't they?
In this competition, yes.
You know what? If I could get away with smacking you in your back right now, I would do it. But HR,
they won't allow for it.
I would just the big
worldwide. I like Brazil. So they're
everybody from Argentina hates Brazil.
No, that's not true. That's a common misconception. We're actually really good friends.
Do you know that I watched the World Cup and how they were mocking each other?
Well, we do that at games, but there was a one time I think the bus with all the players from Argentina was passing by Brazil. It might just be the Brazilians that love us though, because they were like waving, they were saying we love you, this and that. It was nice.
I have a friend from Argentina. Well, gave Gail her black belt in Shim Shindo, Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I was watching a game with them, and he was looking at Brazilians, and he kept going like this. Look at them. They're Indians. Indians. They wear feathers. And then he said, Argentina should be lifted out of Argentina and put it with Europe because they're like a European country.
A lot of
he thought the rest of South America was dog shit.
That's okay, but if you travel to the north of Argentina, there's a lot of indigenous communities. So
it's the same thing.
Rest of your country.
Look, we say the same thing about PA. We say the same thing about New York.
Yeah,
you get out of the city.
We have a Colombia or Chile.
Well, destroy them. This is crazy. We're going to go through this tournament like a hot knife through butter. And Chris, I know that you don't cook.
No.
Hot knife's going to go very easily through butter.
Very nice.
Remind me, I got something to say about your favorite treat too, but Dale from PA wants to talk first.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Ron.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look, my observation is this. We have such differences between people, even in our own state. I'm in Pennsylvania, and I heard James Carville describe us for political purposes. We're Philadelphia and Pittsburgh with Arkansas in between.
It's very true of most towns. Most cities are blue, most country is red. I mean, if you drive out of New York, 20 minutes, you pull over to get gas. Some guy's just up. What you doing in our town? Hi, where are you taking this car to? You're just like, dude, I want to get out of here.
I'd have a question.
Yes.
I'd have a question for Carville, though. What about the Amish? I mean, there's no Amish in Arkansas that I know of.
I believe there are in Arkansas Amish in most places. And Amish, for lack of a better term, are rednecks. Because look at how those Amish people sold their kids to that fucking lunatic.
Yeah, that dude. Those. Yeah.
What state was that? Was that in PA?
Yeah, it was in PA.
Go ahead and take them. You gave us the tractor. You might as well take our kids. Sex them up.
No, those were Amish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mennonites at the very least, Which
at
is
minimum.
Yeah, Amish who smoke pot. If you're going to be totally honest.
And enjoy colors.
Yes. And love a little meth.
The thing is, I like a nice pink shirt sometimes.
Does that mean I can't be good? That I liked a little bit of flash? I had a pocket square ready. Speaking of pocket square, did you see our friend Doug Smith? He's on Conan last night.
Yes.
And he's got a nice little pocket.
He looked great. And he had a great set.
Yeah, he had a fantastic set. Never brought up being stabbed, though. I thought that was a mistake. I would open with that every show.
I was waiting for that, thinking that he was going to do a joke or two.
Chris, what's the one food that you will eat in your home and make for yourself?
Tuna fish.
Have you heard the tuna fish story?
No. What's wrong with tuna fish?
A tuna fish company, they've admitted that 2 people ended up grind up and put into the tuna fish.
Oh.
See if you can find the story. There's going to be a mass recall of cans of tuna.
Oh, no.
Ew.
Give me the story.
Oh my.
All right, yeah, it's possibly contaminated tuna fish.
Bumblebee, right?
It's Bumblebee.
Oh, that's my brand.
Well, there's only 2 brands.
I'm a Sunkiss girl, so I'm feeling great.
There's
Starkiss.
Starkiss.
Starkiss
Is that the shark? The one with the little shark on it?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
little shark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh God, I ate tuna fish last night. I ate tuna fish last night.
No, you ate
You had flesh.
people last night.
I'm a fucking cannibal.
Here's what happened. There was a dude in the oven cleaning it.
Oh no.
They dumped in tons
Oh.
of tuna, turned on the oven.
Oh God.
Off he went with the tuna, shredded up along.
There's no worse death than drowning in tuna.
I would say eating that same tuna.
Oh God.
You really don't see a worse death than drowning in tuna?
And then being cooked? If
Yes.
say if it didn't drown you?
Dude, why are you going through the details of this? This is a human being. That
I
you're
know,
talking
it's
You
about.
should be worried about you
Yeah.
and what you can consume.
You've got
last
the taste of man right now. When are you going to eat your next man-fish sandwich?
I'm telling you, mix man up with some mayo. It's delicious.
You made tuna fish again last night?
Yep. And
Why
that's-
are you Why don't you try to make other foods?
I don't know. I just really like tuna fish.
I understand.
Like it's weird. It's like, I think it's like fucking unhealthy and bad. Like,
No,
I
it
love-
because you are being lazy to learn how to cook other things for yourself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you
Well, no,
might
I really
you
like
like tuna fish, but I'm sure if you had the option to have something else, you would.
Here's what he needs is a caregiver. He needs somebody. There's a heat thing coming, and he won't open his windows. Do you have AC in that house?
Yeah, I bought a stolen AC a few years ago. 12,000 BTU, $50. Fucking thing keeps that room ice cold. It's the best $50 I spent in years.
Yes, because it was stolen goods. I feel sorry for the family who were without this. For a lousy 50 that you threw to a crackhead. Which, by the way, he probably killed the family for that $50.
You have so much blood on your hands; it's insane.
At least they're nice and cold in the summer heat.
What are you saying is on the can? Who said that there was? You said there's a
Coach.
shark on the
Coach
can.
said that there's a little shark cartoon.
Why would they put a shark on tuna fish?
Oh, it's probably tuna.
Remember
don't make this
with a
count.
beret.
Oh, it is.
That's not a beret either.
Oh, it's just a regular.
Oh, it's a chef's hat. It's the chubby chef is back.
I always thought it was a crown.
Oh, it's definitely not a crown. It's
All right.
Charlie the tuna.
Oh, it's you know what? It's like a cheese cutter's hat.
All
That's
right,
what
so
it
it's
is.
cheese cutting. But I never. That's Bumblebee.
That's a star kiss.
Star kiss or sun kiss, as I called it.
Sorry, Charlie. Because in the cartoon and the commercials years ago, he tried to be caught, but they only take the best tuna. And I doubt that very much that they go down.
So he's like a shitty tuna. It's
He's
like
probably ridden with cancer, is the way I took it as a child.
I just want to die a hero's death. Sorry, Charlie, you're disgusting.
His main problem why they didn't want him is because he's nearsighted. And
He's also flat-footed and pigeon-toed.
Boy, flat-footed and pigeon-toed. Stanley, to the front desk, please. We're going to stamp this 4-8. 4F, not 4H. That would make you a centaur animal. Remember when the girl thought the chicken of the sea was chicken?
Yeah, Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson, where has your love gone? Who did that song? He doesn't know it. Never mind.
Don't start looking.
Just forget it.
I'm not
Just
going to look it
fucking
up.
relax.
I'm not going to look it up.
For 5 seconds, just sit here like a person.
Okay.
Not a
I
fucking
think it was
stenographer.
the dude who was once in the Moldy Peaches, but I can't think of his name. Adam something.
Moldy Adam.
Adam Green? Adam Green, was it?
Look, you're looking at Vito. Vito likes no kind of music besides Guido dance music. Just because you're fond of him doesn't mean that you have anything in common.
Stop projecting, Gail.
Thank you, Chris.
We should break. We haven't broken yet today.
Well, then let's break now. Bennington. The Bennington Show, Friday. Ali Wong at 2 o'clock. And then we're running our Comedy 101, which I can tell you is a laugh riot. 8:30 on the Opie radio show that we'll be doing mornings on. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
That was a really fun week that we had. Like both of those gigs kind of back to back. It was a blast. I'm excited to put them out there now.
Yeah. Those things are great. Chris, what is this Paulina Gretzky story? She was the kind of internet it girl for a little while, but then I haven't heard about her in like a year or two.
Well, now she's engaged to Dustin Johnson, who just won the U.S. Open.
That will hurt you from being the internet it girl.
Yeah. No one wants to see her with a dude.
Yeah, no one wants to see a married girl.
No. So
you stop.
Yeah.
He went to the U.S. Open, and he's walking away from the course, and Fox, their cameraman, just focuses on Paulina Gretzky's ass, and so now the internet's pissed that this cameraman was focusing on her ass as opposed to focusing on, I guess, Dustin, the winner of the U.S. Open.
Well, first of all, neither one of them wanted to be focused on, but if you look at that, both their asses are in the picture.
Yeah, I feel like his ass is more of a focal point.
It's more prominent.
Yeah.
Like, she's a skinny girl. The ass is not the thing with her.
Oh, that's the breast. But this cameraman, as the shot was ending, he was just going straight to the left to try to get a piece of that on camera.
I don't know. They were both in it. I think the guy, like, she's even holding her dress down, but she wore that dress.
Yeah, I think, everyone's...
It's not an upskirt, is it?
No, it is not.
It's not an official upskirt. And I think that he's just framing it like it's both their back to butt. I was expecting to see like a zoom in on her butt.
Is this Fox Sports?
It's Fox Sports, yeah.
Now, they must get this guy on all the time. Why are they following him to the house, or where are they going?
Looks like they're going in for like press or whatever into, I guess, the house on the course.
All right, so this is after the match?
This is after he'd already won.
Yeah. So this is something guys can't ever concern themselves about. Like, there's very rarely an up shorts that happens to guys. When it does, it's more of a funny thing.
Yeah, I
than
mean,
a bad thing.
Or accidental, like a middle school coach. It's like, for some reason, it always just seemed like they were.
That's not an accident if the coach is doing that around young children. That is a prevert.
Wait,
preverting them, perverting their minds. Yes. If you saw a coach's nuts, you should have reported it immediately. There's no reason for him to pop a nut. All right. Liz Sets Fire is saying that the story that Fagiota sent us about the man eating bumblebee is a Snopes bullshit story.
Oh, my God.
Chris.
Let's face it. Liz Sets Fire, the true producer of the show.
Thank you, Liz.
Oh, I was ready to start eating people. Straight up, pure.
Yeah, but what if there was a piece of tuna in there by mistake?
Oh,
what if somebody had some tuna in their pocket?
Charlie.
That's weird because you had that Charlie, and then Good and Plenty had a Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie says, "Love my Good and Plenty." That was one of the first big ads in TV history. You don't need to look it up, Chris. Please, for the love of fuck. Just be here the moment. No one needs, we all know Charlie, Good and Plenty. Just be a person. Do you do this when you're your friends? You just fucking constantly doing stuff. Then sit here. Just fucking be with us.
I'm here.
You're not.
You should just move here.
That would be even weirder.
No one will man those controls.
I forgot to tell you, there was a thing about you, Chris, a text that I got earlier.
Oh, no.
From a person who doesn't want to live a public life.
Oh, okay.
Just heard the 101 promo on delay.
Yeah.
Too much announcer. Don't need clips that explain the premise, but instead make listeners curious about it enough to listen. Pick something vicious, and then followed by a, come on, get in the game. You've been here too long to still make these kind of fuck-ups.
That's a long text.
Well, there's two texts.
Oh, it's got splits into two. That's a book.
But you should know this by now.
They don't want to live a public life, huh?
No, they don't wish to live a public life.
I love commenting on public lives.
Boom, 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 boom.
Seems like you just got producer 101.
Ouch.
But here's the thing, 100% correct. You never explain everything in a promo, you get the listeners to be curious enough to come in. And I agree about pick something vicious. And that is like, try picking something not vicious. Somehow we did it. You found the rare fucking dull diamond in that. Boss's bell is broke. That's the, first, we don't even explain the bell. If you're going to do all these explanations, here's how it works. You've got the comedians coming out. When one of the general mentors looks over and thinks he can help, he rings a bell. They're forced to stop their set. But you want to have something big, short, multiple, rapid fire clips, laughter, craziness.
I think it is a good idea after each name. A little clip, maybe.
Well, what
each mentor.
I mean, if this was called Radio 101, we would have failed on that promo. We would have failed. This fucking show was hilarious, wall to wall.
It was crazy. It was a riot. The whole thing.
And the clips have got to show that. The promos have got to show that. That's the beauty of it. I mean, it's great that we have a male librarian that's willing to read for a while. I think that's fantastic. Most people don't have that. Let's say this. If you were to explain air travel to someone, if you were saying, take a flight to Europe, would you show the flight attendant just reading off all the list of things that people can't do? Or it would be a rapid fire look. They're swimming, they're dancing, they're snorting coke. They're having a fucking time of their life.
It sounds great.
The ladder. Yeah. I'm going with the ladder.
Speaking of the ladder, there are certain comedy clubs that make you climb up a ladder to... I didn't tell you this story?
No.
So I'm over at the Creek in the Cave the other night with Big J doing our mashup, which was a lot of fun, and it was a blast. So I'm hanging out on the street. Beautiful night, hanging out with listeners, laughing, great comics. Rachel Feinstein's walking up, Michael Che's walking up. I mean, the ability to see some great comics in a smaller setting. I wish we could explain to people how to take a New York comedy vacation, because you'll meet most of the people you've seen on TV.
Yeah.
You'll meet the guy from SNL. You'll meet the people who've just done specials. So Rebecca is, and by the way, I got the opportunity I was looking for, Vito. As soon as I come off the stage, she hands me an envelope, and I won't touch it. I get to go. No. Negatory. Not gonna do it.
Negatory, good buddy.
Hand it to some of the kids. I get to have that, not Vito putting a fucking check in my pocket when I'm not looking, and I find 2 months later. So Rebecca goes, would you like to sign the wall? I said, of course. She says, great, I'll get the ladder. I'm like, what? She comes out with this giant ladder. I got to climb up and sign it high on the wall. And I'm like, saying to the guy, I'm like, hold this ladder. I'm getting to the point where if I break a hip, that's it for me, right? When I was younger, anyone that got older broke a hip, they died 3 months later. I don't know what happened back then, but you would never get past the hip injury.
And what is it about the hip that leads to death?
I never understood it. I'm saying this even now through a child's eyes. I just think that must have been infection sets in.
Yeah.
You're never going to get better. Everything starts to go bad. So I start to head up this ladder. Gurion sees me. He shrieks.
No.
And he thinks that I'm changing a light bulb.
What?
Yeah.
And he said, don't make Ron Bennington change this light bulb.
It's like you were there. What the fuck, he says. Bennington should not be doing work around here. Is he a handyman? So after that, we're laughing. I go up, sign the thing, come down. The ladder's out on the street. The kid who works there, he's looking around for stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He's on top of the marquees, up and down. A baby bird had fallen out of a nest, and they were trying to find the nest to put it back into.
Oh.
And there was a cup with a baby bird in it that the waitress had.
Oh.
And I'm thinking to myself, once you touch a baby bird, I've always been told the mother rejects it. I don't know whether that's true. Liz Sets Fire can look it up on Snopes, but I've heard that since I was a kid.
Yeah, I have heard it as well because I found a baby bird a couple summers ago that fell out of the nest, but he was like kind of in the bushes in this park. So I had to call some people and they were like, no, don't touch it because there's still a possibility that the mother might feed the baby from down there.
Here's what I was told. If you find a baby bird, pick it up, throw it against a wall because you can at least put it out of its misery.
I've found multiple dying birds outside this building. It's really weird. At least 3.
Dying baby birds or just
adult birds?
So what do they?
One was vomiting and dying.
Oh my God, Chris, that's horrible.
I had to see it.
By the way, Chris will never check out Jeffrey's column. I'm told that the latter story is in Jeffrey's column.
Why would you make Bennington change the light bulb?
He was furious. It was his version of screaming. But here's the thing. Anybody would do anything for Rebecca. I'm curious about the amount of comics that have tried and or succeeded to hook up with Rebecca. Because she gives that off at air. You know what I mean?
She does. She's
very
powerful.
Very powerful, very sexy. And then she kind of looks over these guys.
Right. There's something maternal there that always interests a man.
Yes, it's a weird thing that she seems like you could be with someone who could also take care of you, you know?
Right.
And that's what I like to find for Chris Stanley. Not that I'm saying that you're with a dime right now, Chris.
Dime piece.
She's not looking out for you.
I never felt I ever wanted anyone to look after me, though.
You need it.
I don't want it.
You're
I think
eating
you do.
human remains. You're buying fucking terrible clothes.
Hey, that shirt fit.
That's not what we look for in the fashion industry.
1 minute you're in, the next you're out.
Joe in South California.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
I'm good, Joe.
Good. I just wanted to comment on your statements regarding breaking hips and why people used to perish from them.
Yes, I would love to
all
know.
the time.
Yeah.
That actually still happens now, and it's basically usually because they're senior patients and they're on their backs and they can't exercise their respiratory functions correctly. So they usually end up dying from pneumonia.
Wow.
What? That's what the hips.
So if you stay in bed and you don't exercise at all, you're going to have lung problems?
Especially if you're older, yes. I mean, I myself just got out of the hospital after 5 days, and they usually have you on breathing machines, but it's usually after surgery, and a lot of older folks that do break their hips have to have surgery because of it. So it's not being able to get the anesthesia out of your lungs and exercise that respiratory system so your pulmonary tract is working correctly.
Now, here's another thing that used to exist a lot when I was a little kid, and I don't see anymore. Canes. All old people would have canes.
Yeah.
You rarely see anybody with a cane these days.
You know what? You see them with cooler things like walking sticks,
Yeah, those
or
things are
they're
dumb.
using walkers.
I'd rather have a nice wooden cane
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a wooden leg. I'd like to have a peg leg.
I had a neighbor who was too proud to use a cane, so she had an umbrella no matter what the
That's
weather.
pretty cool.
So she was always leaning on the umbrella.
She's not too proud to use an umbrella.
No.
No, that's actually funny. I figured I would
Thanks.
throw that out there just because it does still happen now. And every time I hear that somebody's broken a hip, I immediately go, oh, God, I hope they're not old. Because it's still kind of not a good thing for them.
I really shouldn't have been on the top of a ladder, and I think Jeffrey Gurian understood that immediately. Thank you so
I'm really
much,
glad
John.
you got down. You're welcome. You guys have a great afternoon.
I'm glad that you're doing well out of the hospital. Look who it is. Christina popped in today.
Hi.
Christina, are you doing your Tuesday comedy specials?
I sure am.
Let's
Two
try
of
to
them
guess who
already aired.
she's looking. Let's see. Let's try to guess to see who she has on. Do you have Doug Smith, who did Conan last night?
No.
Let me guess. Robin Williams again? Is that where you're going with this? Now, by the way, did you know your sunburn has turned more into tan than
You
it
are
was
full
yesterday?
tan. Thank you. I'm fully tanorexic. I think it's like, once the season starts, I can't get enough.
You're like
of the
tanning
sun.
mom. You're tanning mom.
You're so tan,
You know,
Mom.
she accosted me once outside the building, not in a terrible way, but she was like all in my neck and stuff, and I felt like maybe we had a kinship. So
Now, did she say to you, "I love your tan"?
it was the winter time. She's tan during the winter. I just keep it to the summer months.
Now, what is it about you and tan? You feel like you look better, or do you feel better with a tan?
Like you just like feel better
Yeah.
when you're sun kissed, and then it's thinning for sure. Am I right?
Yeah, it is.
Tan
very
is
thinning.
thinning?
Yeah,
Okay.
very thinning.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you lost weight, but you just got a tan.
Oh, who's
See?
sweeter than you?
Yeah, I was going to take you down, weigh you, but I'm like, now I don't even need to. It's just the tan.
And really, HR's put a stop to that.
Yeah. Now, Chris,
Employee weigh-in.
I thought it would work better for everybody. The Dallas Cowboys do it, and no one's mad at them. Now, Chris, you claim that you can't tan.
I just burn.
Oh, you
I
poor
just get
baby.
bright pink.
Now
It's bad.
I have to burn first.
Right.
That's
And
bad for you.
And I accept that I'm going to end up being like a pinkish color.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I'm set for
the summer?
For the summer.
Now, are you a baby when you burn? Because for me, I look at a burn as it's just going to be tan soon. But
Yeah.
some people are like,
No,
don't touch.
It's part of my life. I'm
Yeah.
used to it.
I normally, I've had those burns though. I got one in Puerto Rico that I remember laying in bed at night. And most of this this burn happened underwater. I spent the entire day snorkeling, and I'm like, I didn't know that you could be burned underwater. And then that night I was laying there going, I'd rather be killed than lay here by this.
Yeah. Because you feel like you have been set on fire.
Your body convulses. I've had it once when it's spring break in Fort Lauderdale in Miami.
Yeah.
I remember the night very vividly. Me and my best friend Katie, we couldn't even basically because our bodies kept knocking together because we were convulsing from like being
Oh, yeah,
hot,
you can get the
cold,
shakes.
and- yeah,
You
yeah,
can get
yeah.
the shakes.
And then my one friend, that bitch Maria, she brings a comforter with her because she likes to travel with a comforter. And we're
Oh.
like, could we have that, please? And she's like, sorry guys, I really need to sleep with a comforter. I can't.
I don't like
What were you going to use the comforter for?
Warmth, and I don't know what it was. We were so desperate
Call
for
the front desk. Say we need
No,
another
they had like
blanket.
those scratchy blankets. She brought this thing
I
from
love
home.
those. It's like
it smells like
it's like a loofah.
it's got like strange semen all over it.
Yeah, I sleep on top of those. I don't care.
You
I
can
know
snap
people-
those blankets in half.
I think strange semen is better than familiar semen.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just me.
It's so uncomfortable when you know the semen.
Hey, our outside producer, Liz Sets Fire, has a great idea for us. Hey, Liz, how are you?
Hey, buddies, what's going on?
What's up?
I had a production idea for the Comedy 101.
Yeah.
We're going to do rapid succession, ding of a bell, funny comedy line from one of the comics, and then laughter. Ding, ring of a bell, line, laughter. Do that a couple times. Comedy 101. Get in the game. Boo, boo, boo.
Dude,
Oh, that was
she's
good.
actually right.
And she included her sound effects.
Yeah,
at the
that was
end.
great.
Pew, pew, pew.
Now, there's a
Somebody's gotta
reason
produce.
that she was mentioned during Unmasked and not Chris Stanley.
Nothing.
Jay is so sweet for that, by the way. I was dying. He's just completely unnecessary. I'm just a big fan.
But I was telling Shrek this when I heard it. I'm like, oh my God. Two girls
It was
just
too
got
cool.
wet. They're so excited. And then I almost told him about that night. I'm like, no, I'd rather them hear it, as it happened.
It was too sweet, too nice of him. He's the best ever.
He's fantastic. Did you listen last night? Did he attack the people who pulled his stuff? I didn't have a chance.
I don't get to listen to the Bonfire Live a lot of the time. I catch it on the replay, but I definitely will listen to that because I was following the tweets and it looked pretty interesting.
Liz, thanks for being better at radio than Chris is. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
No problem.
Liz.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Chris, can you get the pew, pew, pew at the
I can
end?
get some lasers, yeah.
He's too busy scrolling through his phone as we do this, and he's going for nothing. I'm just watching him sit and scroll his apps. He's just like, I got a bunch of apps.
Man, you got it good, Chris Stanley. Man,
really-
you got it good.
Yeah. Your life is great.
Things are going well.
Now, do you think you learned from Liz?
Yeah, Liz is going to be a great lesson. I will be remaking the promos this evening.
No. This goes on the Vito now. Vito, are you ready to stand up? Vito, you were going to have the social media clips ready.
What social media?
You
clip?
took video, and we were going to put them out on social media leading up.
Oh, I know. I have those videos. I have my laptop with me today.
Right, but these are supposed to be sent out by now. this show's only a couple days away. Comedy 101 was a big bang. You know what? I don't want to teach Radio 101. Let's jump in. Gail, what do you got for us?
All right. So let us go to our game, Most Likely To, this time with the original cast of Ghostbusters.
All right, out of the original the cast of Ghostbusters,
Right.
Who's most likely to?
Or the superlative game. So my first question is, most likely to get a TV drama career, a reboot of their career. They get a starring role in a big TV drama.
I got no doubt about this one. Mr. Dan Aykroyd. Lock it up.
That was the first one that came to mind to me.
I feel like Bill Murray would go drama.
He has been in dramas, and he's good at it, but I think Aykroyd did it first.
The reason that I get that because I think he has the ability to do that, but I don't think you're going to have him looking up. Or you're not going to have him showing up for every episode. That's a long commitment for him.
I just noticed something. Christina's looking up to see who the original Ghostbusters
No,
are.
I'm trying to. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I know Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Rick Moranis, obviously, but I haven't. I mean, it's been so frigging long.
Well, one of them is
I
gone.
don't watch movies ever.
Harold
What?
Ramis.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is you don't watch movies?
I can't sit
What?
through them. I'm so
Really?
yeah. I don't like to go to the movies.
Do you watch TV shows?
Yes, but that's on my own kind of. But movies are so long, and I just get like I got to move around a
Is
little
there
bit.
any
I don't wanna
movie
just
that you
sit
like?
There. You know, my favorite movie of all time in life is My Cousin Vinny, but I spend more time quoting it than I do watching it. So I don't know. I'm just not into so much.
Here's what
I
you
can't
could do.
sit through them.
This could be great for you. You go to a drive-in, and there's a playground at the front of every drive-in, and you're just up there on the swings. You're on the teeter-totter. I don't know if I've ever met a person who doesn't watch movies.
I've seen movies, but I don't retain them well, and I just
so you
don't
know
really...
nothing about Ghostbusters.
I mean, I've seen it before, and it's on sometimes in the
but
background
you're
of the
herking and
room.
jerking and
Herking and jerking.
Yeah,
What does that
you can't
mean?
sit still. You're jumping around.
I'm up.
fiddling
I'm in the
with stuff.
kitchen. I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm not interested in what's happening.
I've heard that people who have a hard time sitting through movies, if you pick up some sort of skill that you can do that you don't have to think about, like if you pick up like knitting, you were to knit while watching TV.
Now
or
you want me to
movies.
do two things? I can't even do the one. I got to do two.
You know what? Here's what I say. I'm going to get you a hamster wheel and you just go in the other room. I'm going to watch the movie. You stay on the hamster wheel. But this goes to show.
No, I've seen it though. But
I
it's
could
a long
never
time ago.
I could never partner up with someone like that. When someone can't watch the movie and they're in the kitchen, you yell, "I'm pausing it. You need to."
Oh
see
God,
this
that's the
scene."
fucking worst.
That
Or
always
they-
freaks me out.
And then I'm like, I didn't ask you to pause it. Just watch the movie.
No, but you will come back and go like this. Wait, he's the murderer? Yeah, motherfucker, he's the murderer.
Maybe if you just sat down,
I
watch the fucking movie.
I have the same thing. It's always very shocking to me when somebody says they hop up. Oh, you don't need to pause.
Yeah.
When they go to the
You
bathroom.
know what I would say? I don't need to be in this relationship either. I made a fucking terrible mistake.
And you know what?
What
I
do you
pause
need to
anyway.
have a girlfriend to be watching your movie for? Why can't you just watch the movie?
It's a shared
Well,
experience.
not necessarily.
There,
Yeah, 'cause
there
you do,
are
like-
there are movies that are.
I'll be in the room. It's fine.
Oh,
We're
my
sharing
God,
the moment.
But that's not the moment being shared.
I mean,
Thank
it kind
you.
of
False.
is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No,
I'm
because
still
you're not appreciating
present.
the fucking movie they're trying to show
But
someone.
I'm appreciating the person watching it.
Christina, guess what? And this is 100% true fact. This isn't even a prediction. A man is going to kill you one day. That is going to happen.
But that's a 50-50 chance. You can't just say a man. Of course. Well, one or the other. Yeah, you're probably right.
Or a man or a woman is going to kill you. Because do women get as mad as men do?
About what?
Of that exact thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
She
frustrates
does.
the hell out of me. I
Not
have known men who are that way. I've known women who are that way, both. If I have friends over and then they hop up and say, "Oh, no, you don't need to pause." I pause anyway. Because I'm just like, I can't even concentrate thinking that you're missing this thing.
I can't
it freaks
stand
me
it.
out.
You know what? And there could be 10 of us in the room. And if there's one, Christina, I will. That my attention goes to that.
But you don't even
person.
know that I'm there. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm doing my own thing.
You're bothering everyone. Doing your own thing in a group.
You're ruining the group experience.
I
Therefore,
don't
ruining
think
the
that
entire
that's
group's
true.
good time.
I don't believe that that's true. If that was the case, then nobody would ever want me around. And it seems that people sometimes, always want me around.
Now, if you have to hop up to use the bathroom,
Okay, well, whatever the case may be, I'm still there, enjoying the experience.
if you have to hop up to go to the bathroom or grab something to drink, do you immediately say pause to the person?
If I don't say pause, I'll just piss in a bottle so I can keep watching the movie. And even if I'm watching a movie by myself, I'll go, pause this for me. And then I pause it.
For this exact reason, I have anxiety about having to pee in the middle of going to see a movie.
Oh.
Well, yeah, because you can't pause it.
Yeah. So,
but if you pause it, you're just making everybody wait on you.
I mean,
what if it takes you longer? What if you're changing a feminine product or something?
I would say I have maybe gone to the bathroom in an emergency scenario, maybe twice during a movie, like ever in my
I
life.
attempt never to do that.
No.
I've never pissed during a film.
Matter of fact,
theater.
if it's a bad film, I'm like, I need a break from this.
Yeah, that's why it must have not been that good.
Yeah.
Because
you wouldn't even think that you have to pee. You're so caught up in it.
Yeah.
If it's good.
But I would have to be in severe pain. But even a movie that I don't really enjoy, it's the same reason that if I flip on something and I see that, I kind of get into it and then I realize it stinks, I usually see it through.
I'll do that a lot.
I bail immediately.
I'll do that a lot, though. But Christina can't even make it through an Adult Swim. That's 15 minutes.
No, I watch stuff all the time.
I doubt
it's just stuff that you probably hate more than anything.
What would it be?
The housewives shows and reality TV and all that kind of garbage. That stuff I'll sit through, and if you talk through it, I will beat your ass.
But it's
I don't know
why. It's
I don't
fake.
know.
They're not really fighting with each other.
You like what you like.
Would you watch two episodes in a row, say? Would you binge watch something?
It depends on what's going on. I don't
that's a
like to
movie.
sit there. But I'm doing other things.
you
No,
see
but
what he
I'm
was-
not. But I'm not just sitting there watching the
He
whole
was
thing.
setting you up. He was setting you up, by the way. Instead of having a conversation, he wanted you to say yes to it, and then he could yell out. So that's the same length as a movie.
It's all right. He's got nothing else going on over there.
Oh, what the fuck? That's bullshit. At least I can watch a film. I can pay attention.
Congratulations!
Yeah,
What do
you're the
you
only one
want
who
from
can.
me? What the fuck do you want from me?
Look,
Follow the plot of a movie.
Hold on. I just pointing
Honeymoon
this
is
out.
over, guys.
You guys aren't dating. There's no reason for you to think. I felt.
We're here for their first fight.
Yeah,
This is
He
so
would be the
awkward.
one that kills me. Your prediction has
Well, he
come
will.
true.
He will kill you. And for a lot less. I predict anyone that's with him is going to be murdered. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen his girlfriend in some time.
Oh.
And
She's working.
That came so quickly to him.
Yeah.
It's like he rehearsed it.
yeah, she's away for a semester at sea.
And he buys all her clothes, too.
All right, we've got to move on out of movie topics.
I know. We've
you
got
know?
to get up and out.
Yeah, because just like if we were watching a movie, this got ruined.
That was your fault. I could have been perfectly fine just talking about the two actors that I for sure knew were in the movie.
I doubt that you could. I doubt that you could speak with any depth about
I've
them.
seen plenty of movies in my day. That's it. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the nuttiest
How do you
thing
feel
I've
about
ever.
science?
Science.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Science or board games? You pick which.
Science.
Science.
Science for 500,
All right.
please.
So, the Elon Musk theory that he had just about a week or two ago.
We're in a video game. We're in a simulation.
Right. So, Motherboard has written an article debunking that this could ever be possible.
That this is not a simulation.
Yes. Which actually, by the way, I went through, and what concerned me is the simplicity of Elon Musk's explanation. I was just like, I understood that one better, because I actually found the debunking of the ideas harder to grasp.
Here's two things that you can know. Number one, people have always said, whatever the technology was at the time, this is what life is. So at one time we used to say life is a dream, life is a play, Shakespeare
Right.
said. Some people said this is the story of your life, the book of your life, and God is an author. Then your life's a movie, and now finally your life is a video game simulation. Whatever the technology that we use as an example. But this is where Elon Musk doesn't explain. Something would have to be outside of the simulation made of something completely different than what's in the simulation.
Right, exactly. So there would have to be something that created this, and there's not a...
And whatever it is, it's made out of what is not in our reality. You know what I mean?
Right. There has to be some sort of reality outside of like a fake reality that is nothing, that isn't close to what we're experiencing.
But what if the thing, whatever created this simulation, it is us? Because we've created simulations and it's been like humans.
No, what do you mean it's been like humans?
You're trying to say...
Yeah, but for the simulation, right?
Yeah.
The simulation would have no idea what a human is, right?
But someone programmed the simulation.
Well, what I'm saying is the simulations would have nothing in common with us. They're made out of little fucking pieces of light or
okay.
So we are completely different. You're not making a human. It's a simulation of you.
Shit.
It would have to be made out of and live in a completely different reality than the screen. And we see that. We know how that works.
What if, like the virtual reality idea, and kind of similar to the Matrix idea, where it's like each individual's experiencing within a fake reality, it's a chosen experience. So this is like your other. This is your avatar, let's say, in this virtual reality. But part of the simulator is that you don't have an idea of the existence outside of this. So you're not taking your memory or your knowledge of, I've plugged into a video game, now here I am in my new body playing this game. What if part of the programming was to completely detach you from that reality? So when you do unplug...
So you're saying there's 6 billion people playing the same video game.
Right.
Why would anyone pick an avatar where you were born an AIDS baby? You know what I mean? Why would anyone choose most of the lives?
Right. Why does my bank account look the way it does?
Maybe because not everything is plugged into the idea. Like some things are real and some things are part of the simulator.
Because that wouldn't work. That's not a simulation where you could have things in it that aren't part of the simulation.
No, I mean to say some of them are created and are not controlled by something, like part of, like when you see in a video game something that isn't another player, it's just part of like the fabric of what makes it up.
I see what you're saying. But those would be duller players, right? So, yeah, I still don't think that one makes... I don't see why we would put on a head and then not know what we're doing. It's the same reason I have with the Hindus who say we keep coming back.
Right.
I go, what's the point of coming back if you can't learn? I would like to be a baby who goes, as soon as I can start walking and talking, I've got so many things I want to start working on. That would make total sense to me.
Right.
You know, just boom, you are back in the game and you have a memory. That would make sense. To be back in a game, and when people say we're just here to learn things, I'm always like, why? Whatever is the mass thing, it already knows how to do it.
And why would we have to start from scratch every time? And why wouldn't we get to...
Right, hold on, let me pack another bowl, and then we're going to continue this conversation. But now, I don't agree with Elon Musk and his simulator line, although a lot of people say that this is a hologram, what's happening on the other side. But again, then how are you eating? How are you, how are you having physical pleasures and discomfort here? That doesn't make sense to me.
Now, of all the promised advancements in technology, ones that we are, everyone says in the next 30 years, in the next 50 years, if you could choose to say, in my lifetime, I will see this one thing happen. Okay. So let's say it's either virtual reality becomes a way of life and that's what everybody uses, versus robot world where we're using AI and personal robots for everything, or life on Mars and everyone has moved there.
And a planetary travel. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you could live to see, let's say, one of those three things, which one would you be most likely to be interested in to see in your lifetime?
I would love to see Christina sit her ass down and watch a movie.
I would love for there to be a robot that can do that for me.
Robot, how was the movie? Was it good?
Brief me quickly.
So are you really robot first above all else?
Well, we're kind of seeing that stuff now, so that's not really.
It's not that exciting.
It's
is
not
it?
that exciting.
I mean, to have a robot bring you a fucking glass of milk doesn't seem that different. It doesn't seem that life changing to me.
Right. I mean, well, I do love the idea of a robot like a Rosie from the Jetsons, just, household duties.
Right.
But not like a Roomba that just it's
a better Roomba.
Right.
You want a better
I want to
Roomba.
communicate with the Roomba. I want
Why?
to be, because there are other tasks other than vacuuming, and I need it to understand.
You would have been great down south with slaves. I'm still thinking of it like, robot, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave all this stuff out. It's me.
Listen, we're all here for a purpose. The robots are here to clean my house. I don't know what to tell
So
you.
you want a house cleaning robot?
Oh, yeah.
But yet
definitely.
you also, would you interact with that robot?
Yes.
Be friends with it?
Yeah, I don't want it
Then
to
you're
turn
gonna
on
stop
me.
making it clean the house.
See that?
No, that's not
yeah,
true.
you're gonna have to treat it like shit if you want to clean the
not
house.
true.
Thank you.
No,
That's why I'd boss around a robot.
No, you
You'd be
show
horrible to your
appreciation,
robot.
and then therefore there's a good relationship.
See,
Seriously? This is Sunday. I thought I'd have a few hours to myself.
Shut up! My fucking house is dirty. Clean it up.
You're a terrible robot boss.
You're a terrible robot.
I would agree, though, that I think that I would end up being very friendly with my robot.
Yeah, of course.
And then just be like, robot, I have a couple errands. You want to just come with me?
So robots for you too?
No, I think of those three things, I think you've got to go life on Mars. I think you've got to go moving outside of this planet.
That's
would be
the best
I'm
thing
having a
for
hard
the
time moving out
species.
of this country, so I don't know. I have a vacation to go to, and I'm kind of nervous.
Where are you going?
The Dominican Republic, but I've
That
never
was
never
just-
left the country before.
No,
in my
when are you
life.
going?
So in July.
Now, why does someone go to the islands during the summer?
It's not my choice. It's a vacation that I was invited on. So,
Oh,
but
you're
the point
dating
is,
a Dominican.
but the point is I'm scared of that. So I don't know if I can get into a rocket ship.
Is this your first? Is this your first time out of the country?
Yes.
It's their first time out of the county.
Not far from the truth.
Well, I had a dream about you doing that, so I don't want to even bring anything up.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say what?
No, I'm not going to even
Don't
bring
do
it up
that.
to you. I have nightmares. Don't go by me. Don't go by
Did
me.
you really have a death dream about me?
I didn't say it was a death dream.
I'm just assuming.
That's the wrong assumption. It was more of a mangled dream. But you're going
Okay.
to be fine, I'm
All right.
sure. I dream crazy stuff all the time. I dreamed that there was going to be a shooter in a gay bar, and that didn't come true.
Oh.
What?
Orlando?
I don't know what you're talking about. See, I'm off the grid right now.
Shooting.
Someone said that Jimmy Page is being investigated, and then they hung up. See if you, Chris, you stay in the moment. Pick yours.
Oh, I want everything to be just immersed in virtual reality because that will happen.
Yeah, but you've only been interested in this since you got that cardboard thing 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. You didn't have the slightest interest.
Oh, and by the way,
What?
your guys' Google cardboards came finally in the mail.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I just get a
You have
quick
a
recap
Google-
of the
you got that for her?
cardboard thing?
Yeah, run it in, guys, because like I told you to. We have Google cardboards for you guys. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, one for that Christina can look at now.
yeah. I can. I'll link my phone up to it. Yeah, freak her out.
Because don't they have to be put together?
I can do it. I can do it on this phone.
So this is his new toy.
They only cost $15.
Okay.
And you can have virtual reality with your phone. You've never heard of this?
No.
And
That looks like a Rosie.
yeah, it does. It's
Wow.
Oh man, I didn't know. I didn't see you set up the last one. I didn't know it was so easy.
Yeah, it's just a little box.
I just
Now,
assumed you were.
Vito, you could also Snapchat her when she, comes into this whole new world.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is
They
the
got a
future.
good one for her too.
Do the classic. You know which one.
What are you setting me up for? Am I going to be
it's
able to
good.
sit through this? What's the
It's
time
just-
frame on
well,
this?
Yeah, for you, I'm going to say you'll probably last 5 seconds.
She's 30 seconds in. She's like, boring.
I got to go to the bathroom.
No, just do the virtual reality without me. I'll jump back in.
All right, Andrew's back on. Let me grab Andrew. It says spy report, Jimmy Page under vines. So that's interesting. Andrew, what's the spy report?
Hey, Ronnie. I just heard Jim Ladd on Deep Track say that Jimmy Page is under investigation for ripping off the lyrics for Radioactive and his hit band of the 80s, The Firm.
Well, he's already there for the other thing.
I know.
For Stairway.
When's it going to stop?
I don't know, but for years, no one ever always said that Led Zeppelin ripped off riffs time and time again.
Spirit, right, was the band?
Yes. Thank you, Chris, for that fun
Damn,
fact.
that was a fun fact.
Randy, California, and it was actually this has been talked about since the 70s, but now it's like people because Randy, California has been gone for a while. Whoever's in his family that owns the rights to that, they now want money for that. Ripping off that song "Radioactive," that's just embarrassing.
I wish that
trouble, Chris.
I'm just linking it up. It'll be right in one moment.
Okay.
I wish that he had the original idea for Pied Piper, because then that mistake would have never been made. I'm still on season 1. Back when Pied Piper
I don't want to
used
say
to be-
anything. Don't let anybody say anything to you until you're done season 3. One last episode this month.
I'm worried.
About you being able to set up this glass thing?
No, I'm worried about the bros on Silicon Valley.
Well, you got to worry every episode. There's always a good thing and a bad thing every week.
Ooh,
all right,
so
Chris Stanley is setting up some virtual reality. I think, does she sit or stand up for it?
She should stand for this one.
Okay. And then she's very tanned, so she'll be tanned in the virtual reality world. On her way to the DR.
Make sure her avatar is tan.
Yeah. And hopefully Christina will return to us. Plug your shows tonight.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Hopefully, Christina returns to us.
I meant from virtual reality.
Oh.
Not from the DR. That's a safe way to travel. Plug your shows and who's going to be doing stuff tonight.
I'll be on Raw Dog tonight at 6 p.m. East, just playing a bunch of comedy. Kicking it off. I don't remember who I'm kicking it off with, but I know that there's tons of Gary Goldman in there. There's some Sid Davis.
Great.
Thomas Dale. I can't think. I
Okay.
can't think. I'm too excited.
It's the Gary Goldman hour.
Yeah. It's always, for me, it's always the Gary Goldman.
I agree
I love
100%.
him.
If I was a woman in black, I'd marry him.
Oh, I'm supposed to be standing.
There you go.
Okay.
So there you are. You're in a virtual reality world. And tell us what you're seeing right now.
Just the credits.
Oh, great.
Oh, God.
Set up with the credits. Does she have to click on anything?
No,
Chris?
she's
Is this a movie? You dickhead.
No, put your face in it.
You got to keep yourself into it.
You can move your head around.
Okay.
Yeah. See how you can see around?
I'm on a highway. Oh my God. This is going to make me nauseous. I'm right in the city. This is amazing. Am I flying?
You're missing the good stuff. Yes, you're flying
What
now.
am I missing? What do you mean?
No, not you.
You're doing everything right.
I love the future. This is amazing. I'm in the clouds, you guys. Whoa, what the hell is that? Is that Jesus?
I hope not.
What is this? What's going to happen to me? I'm terrified. Wait a second.
What? Tell us what's happening.
There's a floating woman in front of me.
Now, can you look above you as well?
Just is something going to kill me because this is terrifying.
You don't enjoy it at all?
I mean, it's kind of fun.
Now, do you think if you were...
Oh, there's somebody else. Oh my God, there's people everywhere. Where the hell? Oh my.
By the way, do you see how...
There's a bicycle up there. Is that ET? Are these dead people? What is happening? There's a floating person coming towards me. All right, somebody's floating above me in the yoga pose.
This is what you could be doing on the train every day now.
I feel sexy doing it, for
All right,
sure.
let's take it off for a second and come back to us.
Oh my God.
Back
Yeah,
to the
then you
real
have
world.
the weird feeling of coming back, right?
Yeah, I still feel like when you're on roller skates and then you take them off. you
Yes.
know?
You're
That's
back,
cool.
You're
Now-
back in Brooklyn on roller skates.
Do you think that you would be more likely to watch a full-length movie if
Like
it was
that.
in virtual reality?
Isn't
and you
that
could
like
move?
3D kind of?
It's
You're the only person I've ever seen that was afraid of Jesus. Oh my God, it's Jesus!
coming for me! Run!
All right, we're going to break. Be right back. Christina's hanging out with us. You can hear her tonight on Raw Dog, 6 o'clock. Remember, this Friday, it's Unmasked with Ali Wong at 2 o'clock. And then 8:30 on Opie Radio It's Comedy 101, Robert Kelly, Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss. It's a scream. It's a panic. This is Bennington.
Bennington is back. We've also got Christina Palumbo in studio with us. She's going to be on Raw Dog tonight at 6 p.m. You can follow her on Twitter at Christina Palumbo.
That's right.
That's where I'm going to follow her.
Mm-hmm. That's where I follow her.
And you have an
Safest
Instagram?
way. Yeah, same thing at Christina.
I'll follow your Instagram, too.
Right on.
Are you on Snapchat?
Yes.
Following it.
Great.
All the same name?
Well, Snapchat is a little different. That's no H in Christina. Because Christina, by the time I got hip to Snapchat,
There was a million Christinas.
Right.
I had that problem with Twitter. Triple A, double N. Gail Ann. Now, Vito, is tonight the beginning of Big Brother?
Tonight is the premiere of Big Brother. We're back in the house for the summer.
I thought it was Wednesday
he was
night.
excited.
I hit the what do you call it? The hook in thing, and it gave me Wednesday.
Wednesday is the 22nd. I messed up my dates.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
Well, we're going to watch soccer tonight,
It
so
gives
it's
you
better
something
that
to
he's
look
wrong.
forward to. It's okay.
You're right.
And plus, the first episodes when you're seeing people get their key, it's dull as
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
I need that door locked and everyone stuck in there.
I'm looking for a showman. I'm not here to make friends.
And then they are. You're going to see that this chess player is going to checkmate. And then they don't do shit.
They always have.
Yeah. This chef is going to be cooking up some special ideas. Shut the fuck up. Just play a game.
But I'm excited to get back into it because I'm inspired by the fact that this is probably the one reality show that I ever really followed that was.
It's the only one that I follow.
Yeah.
And because I think it's a great science experiment. I love to see the people cracking up.
Yeah.
And I like to see people turn on other people.
I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
See?
And
now
you
you're
can-
starting to get it.
And you could just check in whenever you want and see what's going on in the house.
Do they
I
still
very
do
rarely
that?
do, yeah.
And do you still have to buy
What's it cost? $9?
$6 a month because it's at the CBS All Access app. So we could just be fucking popping.
Jesus, you're really excited about this.
He's so excited.
You would never guess by looking at you, Vito, that you get this excited about Big Brother.
Oh, I love Big Brother.
Wow.
I am obsessed
I
with
respect
it. I
that.
like rooting for players. I'm looking for a strong alliance this year.
Who's your favorite Big Brother player of all time?
I don't know.
Chicken
Probably
Man.
Mike Boogie, maybe Dr. Will.
Dr. Will, yes. Mike Boogie, he's a fucking, he was holding on to Dr. Will's shirt tails.
The last season I remember watching in full, because when I do watch it, I get into it, was the Evil Dick season.
That was a good season.
And Evil Dick is the shit. Did he win, or was it his daughter who won?
I think Evil Dick won. Yeah, he
Good
did.
for him.
And then he was supposed to go back. I hope I'm not wrong about this. From All Stars, they pulled him out because he's got the HIV.
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
I think that the last one I watched, because I haven't watched it in many years, was the original twist where they did the twin swap.
Yeah. They
So-
did one of those last year. Too.
Yeah, I
It's the
heard that they
dullest
brought
shit
it
ever.
back.
I don't like when they change any rules. You know what I mean? Like, you don't watch football and then, this year, if you have a twin, you can play at the same time. That's not the game.
What were
Expect
things
the
interesting?
unexpected. But we shouldn't. We should have people are able to play their theories out and win. It shouldn't be a game of chance.
What was the most annoying expect the unexpected twist?
Probably the Saboteur.
Yeah, I didn't
What's
like
what was
Saboteur is where they fuck up things for people at home.
She lasted 2 episodes. She
Yeah.
got kicked out, and then it was just over.
I don't like the special key that you get that switches the game. You got to play a game. I don't want to be watching a football game and then go, we just added a 5th quarter.
What? So you don't like the coup d'etat?
No, I don't like a coup d'etat.
Wait, what's the coup d'etat?
We just explained it.
Come on.
You switch the game.
You switch it up.
Okay,
Kuna
same thing.
Matata.
This ain't
surprise
fucking Astoria,
double.
dude. You got to be on the balls of your feet.
Yeah, you got HOH, and there should be nothing that overrules.
All right, which one of us do you think would be good at the game? Because it's a long game. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is starting it too fast.
I think that you would be excellent at the
I'd be
game.
terrible.
You think
I'd go
so?
out of my mind taking a whole summer to play a fucking game. I'd be fucking just fidgeting around like Christina in there.
I think that Chris would forget that he was playing. Like, I
I'd
think
be
that
out
like
the first week.
You'd be a screaming guy.
No, you would not be out the first week. They would not target you the first week.
By the way,
they would like
They know I'd self-destruct.
Also with Chris, he would hurt himself every contest. An arm and knee.
I need a producer over here.
He can't even. Like,
Why are you so good at that?
Where you would just like stand on like a little like post for like 12 hours.
I wouldn't even get up on the post. I'd be like, I'm not going to win this. I'm going back into the house.
Why is someone making you change the light bulb up there?
It's not right. He's not a handy.
I think Vito would think he would be good at the game, but he would get involved with the showmances and the bromances, and I think that he would get distracted.
Yeah.
I would be way too excited to join an alliance.
You know what? Yeah.
He'd be walking through the door like, "Where's my alliance?"
And also, he'd be crying, and he might win 25
Sweating.
grand as the nicest guy. They give out that shitty award every year.
I would stress out over the naming of our faction for like the first week.
I hate when they name their faction.
So stupid.
It's all for hashtag purposes still.
I'll tell you what I can't survive. One of those gruel weeks where you're
No,
just like,
I'd quit for that too.
now
I don't
which
think I'd
one?
mind it so much.
Now
That's because what you eat at your house.
Can I swap that out for a tuna week? Tuna products only. Now I know that at one time they did like peanut butter. Is it just the gruel now, or it's vice
Straight
versa?
gruel. Straight gruel.
So it's like gruel with vitamins. Yeah. I don't think I would be very good at the game.
Nope.
No,
Not I.
all of us would lose.
Yeah.
There's not anybody here I'd put money on. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I know anyone who could win this game.
If we had to vote for HOH right now, who would it be?
I'd vote for you since you've been handling this conversation. And that's as far as I can think.
Oh, you guys, you're welcome to meet me up in my room to see pictures of my family and enjoy some of my snacks.
That, I also know your snacks would be better.
I love that every elimination ceremony goes, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Having said that, Vito, you are out of the house.
Vito, you're one of my closest friends here. Having said that,
I'm still voting you out. It's just a game.
it's a game where you can lose the opportunity to win thousands of dollars.
You became a threat to my game because you became such good friends with Christina.
And I'm only voting you out because I respect you so much and the way you play the game.
Now let's run over and watch this picture turn black and white.
And they do it every time, and then they'd be like, "Oh, really sets in." They say it the same. It's like, you know, it didn't set in until I saw the picture of Chris turn black and white.
Not the fact that he had his bag and walked out the door calling us all assholes.
Now I know it's real.
Look, Christina's looking at Big Brother now.
No, I'm not. This is Instagram.
What are you doing? Putting pictures of yourself at Coney Island up?
I was there for the mermaid
Yeah.
parade. What a shit show.
Oh,
Why shit show?
Oh, just so many people.
Oh, okay.
You need to
So-
bring a bottle with you to pee in, otherwise,
I do that no matter where I go.
lucky you.
Even to the bathroom.
It was
Take
really
a bottle
cool.
in.
Yeah.
In case I have to pee and then I just pour it out. Then I'll go like this into the urinal. Good thing I had this, huh?
Right?
I always like looking at pictures from the mermaid parade, but
I
I've
thought you were
never
gonna say
got.
people peeing in bottles.
I always like to look at pictures, but
the real thing is,
but it was insanity, right?
oh yeah. So much fun though.
Did
People
you go
are
there with
really-
your Dominican boyfriend?
No, I went there with one of my best friends.
Did you dress up?
No, I'm not crafty like that. People make these costumes for like a year. They're working on
Yeah.
it. So it was
There's
awesome.
nothing you could buy.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but I was there for the beach. Look at this tan. What are you kidding me?
You did get the tan.
Thank
There's no
you.
doubt about it. I think the extra oil down at Coney Island helps.
Oh yeah, slicks you up nice. You're just like
You ever swim in the water there?
Definitely not. There was broken glass all over that beach. It's so disgusting.
I've done it.
Nice.
You've been in that water?
Oh yeah.
I'd bring a spray bottle. It has a
But-
battery in it with a fan. Refreshing.
but I also just walk down the beach to like Brighton.
Oh yeah, I've
And
done
it's a
that
little-
before. Yeah,
it's a little better there. It's cleaner.
It's cleaner for sure.
Does
I gotta-
feel attached.
Someday, someday I got to tell you my Brighton Beach memories.
Oh,
Not easy here.
So the new replacement for Hamilton, this is going to be the new reigning champ, for most popular Broadway show. They're making a Monopoly game.
A Monopoly game, the play?
The Broadway play. It's gonna be hard to figure out what is the drama here.
Well, no one's ever seen the Iron win before, so that could be it. Good news, you're in the play. Bad news, you're playing the Iron. Why can't I be the shoe or the race car? What were you, Chris? The dog?
I like the dog. I like the cannon too. Cannon's pretty cool. No, I like the wheelbarrow also.
I've always loved the thimble.
That was
big
always
fan
my
of the
mother.
thimble and the top hat.
Top hat is very cool.
Yeah, those were always my top choice. Top hat first, thimble I think second.
By the way, I think this is the only board game in history that doesn't blow. Most board games are terrible. Monopoly is we could put out a Monopoly board here. Within an hour, we're going to be arguing. Within 2 hours, somebody's going to turn over the fucking table.
I hated how everybody always wanted to make me the bank so that it could help me practice my math skills.
You should have.
Assholes.
Now,
I hate that game. I don't think I've ever made it through in a Monopoly game in full.
This goes
surprise,
to show
surprise.
that by what you're saying, that somebody wanted to help you with your math skills, you weren't playing with friends. Only parents.
Well, no, I didn't have any brothers or sisters, so there were times where there's we did family game stuff all the time.
Now,
and
did
so-
you want brothers or sisters?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm happy I don't have them because now I don't have to share shit. But
What kind of shit do you think they have to share?
like the inheritance,
Wow, that's a terrible
dark.
Yeah.
No, we talk about this all the time with my dad. We joke about it all the time.
Joke.
Yeah.
I can tell
He's
you
like,
this.
you're lucky I didn't give you any brothers or sisters. Look, all of this is yours. And he lives in a little apartment. He's cute about it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And you said that you used to have a dad thing when you were a kid, right?
No.
You used to you wanted to beat your mom to the door to greet your dad?
Oh, yeah, because my mom and I would fight. So,
Who would ever be the one who got to be,
Me
as you
always.
said, daddy's best girl?
yeah, me, of course.
That's healthy. What you went through is healthy.
Yeah.
So you had a closer relationship with your dad.
Yes.
So did you go to your dad for if you had problems at school or
Yeah, everything other than menstrual, I went to my dad and still do. Yeah.
Right.
I go to my mom too, but my dad's, I don't know, he gets
See,
it.
people who listen to the show thinking that me and Gail have a closer relationship, it's not even close. It's all about her and her mom.
Yeah, me and my mom are very, very close. And we were, I was close with her as a kid. She was always
I became close with my mom the second I moved out of the house. Then we became
Then you
close.
got
But we can't
closer.
live together because we'll
Huh.
kill each other.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware I had kids for a while. She did such a good job running stuff.
we well, yeah, that's why we're better as adults.
Well, we had a fun relationship,
Yeah,
but
of
I
course.
never, I never would want to give any kid advice. What am I supposed to tell you?
Seems impossible.
I can't see you as a disciplinary at all.
Only if anybody annoyed me.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The same way I'm a disciplinarian here.
Right.
I'm not a good manager.
Yeah, but he wasn't a pushover in any way.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
more you just knew not to fuck with him.
Right.
He didn't have to threaten because
Yes.
it was just it was
Implied.
there.
Yeah.
But it's
So-
the lucky thing of, I have it even in the street where I think Ron's crazy is what people think to themselves. So you don't have to go around be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You get the feeling that I would kill someone.
Yeah,
So I
so-
don't have to.
So my brother and I, it's not we were ever testing the waters to see what we could get away with.
No.
We just kind of already knew.
Right.
There was no fucking around.
You already know that I had a darker soul than both of you. These are very good people. You know what I mean? And their mom is very good. But you could just tell that I'm not a good person. You know what I mean? You could just tell.
Yeah, and I think I also had certain instincts about the way things were, things that I knew would annoy you. Or for example, this is a weird instinct thing that I don't think anyone ever told me, but my parents were not strict about cursing. But I never thought just because I could say, oh, this shit is crazy, I never thought I could say fuck you.
Right.
And no, I didn't have that explained to me. Or it was if you disagreed with your parents, be you're an asshole. Never happened once.
That's true.
But then but my brother and I were expressive with curse words since we were little. To be oh man, that's fucked up.
No way.
Now, would you call each other assholes?
I don't know. I don't know if we did so much.
Yeah. Because I just think that you're just nice people, that you don't go around labeling people.
Yeah, I don't think we did that. And I also had an instinct, for whatever reason. I don't think I had to be told that you just don't curse in front of grandparents. Like, for some reason, I just knew. I had an idea, but I don't remember you guys saying there are certain words that you can't say around your grandparents. I just was like,
there was one time you were like 3 or 4, and my parents came down and spent a lot of time with us in Florida, and they were pulling away, and she starts going like this: shit, fuck, bitch. She just starts to yell out curse words, and we fell on the ground fucking laughing. And it was the craziest thing I ever saw.
It's like, finally, I've been holding this in all this time.
But even when I was a kid, I used to curse like from kindergarten on the street with my friends, and never slipped in front of my parents.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the only curse words that were ever acceptable in front of my parents are any racial ones. They were fine.
They were fine
with that. And I'm not making that up even slightly.
Yeah, well, that's always.
But that's the kind of curse words that you kids didn't use.
Oh yeah, like the hearing that, and it was always from older people, the elderly.
And my family.
Yeah, the elderly.
Well, you have to remember what they did to the city of Chester. I mean, they closed train stations.
But
there's no train stations.
Nothing is weirder to a child to like hear, and especially if you didn't grow up hearing that kind of, hearing people call people, stuff like that, and then suddenly hear somebody who you've never heard say shit, fuck, bitch. You haven't heard them say anything, and then all of a sudden they say something that you're like, oh my God, like, why is that okay? Like, that's bizarre. But then you know that you couldn't say bullshit in front of them.
Right.
It's just so weird. It's a very strange...
because to them, those aren't curse words. That's factual things to live your life by.
I remember I said something sucked once when I was in, elementary school, and never again. Sucked. The word sucked.
And that's also generational. Like, sucked has become watered down.
Yes.
Where we don't necessarily think of it that way. But there was a time where adults would say, do you know what that means?
Right.
And you're like, what? Sucks cock, but we didn't think of it that way.
Yes.
We're just like, no, it just sucks in general.
The only time anybody ever asked me what it meant was when I said the word douchebag, and my mom's like, do you know what that means? And then I felt really dumb. And then
it's like a person's a jerk. That's all.
Like a real jerk.
Yeah. Well, these PC people, you know what I mean? That's our biggest problem. I demand that the president says Islamic terrorist. How's that going to help?
Just say it.
Yeah.
Then it's out there.
Then it's done.
Oh, okay. Then and only then.
Then and only then can you say it.
Other than that, other than racial curse words, what is after that the worst?
I don't know if there is any worse. I mean, if you think about the term motherfucker, it's pretty bad. Most of the time that you don't realize, most of what we consider curse words are misogynistic, whether you're saying pussy, bitch, cocksucker. We're actually saying the things that women do or have are the worst things that could happen.
Right. It's true.
I mean, the cocksucking thing, something that brings such joy. Yeah. How did that ever make it to an insult? Because we're saying you're on the other side of the joy. Yeah. You're in the disgusting part of...
I had to explain this to Chris the other day because he said something about someone being a cunt. It was a man.
Right.
And I'm going, well, come on with that. And he's like, no, I don't call women that. I call men that. And I'm like,
I have to explain this to you.
And I'm like, no. And he was like, if a woman was, I was like, what would you say if a woman was behaving that way? He would say bitch. I was like, so a man is a bitch, a man is a cunt, and a woman is a bitch. And I'm like, but both of those are against women. And he's like, okay, I see your point.
I remember offense to it. The word does not bother me.
Well, that's because you've taken it back.
Yeah, I own it.
But only when we look back at the root of what people are saying do you do go, okay, there's this subconscious thing that we learned very early that we don't keep conscious anymore. You don't, when you say someone's a pussy, you're not thinking that way. But I do remember I had to be like in 4th or 5th grade, and someone said to me, like, what is the worst thing about going down on a woman, but we used a different term, and I can't remember which one. I don't know what, and they go, The View. And if you think of that joke, you know what I mean? If you think of that joke of like, yo, God, women, they're genitalia, it's repellent. And I remember that joke stayed with me, and I'm like, and I laughed, and then I thought, so how's that the worst thing? Must be another part of this joke I'm not getting. Because the last thing you do when you're a little kid, go explain it to me. What exactly do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
by that
How
joke?
many jokes are told when you're a kid where you just assume, there's two things you assume. One, that you're like, oh man, I got to figure this out. I can't ask anyone. Or if you do know what it is, you're like, this is something invented by children.
Right.
Like you think that all of these ideas, drugs, cursing, sex, any of this stuff is invented by youth. And this is the first time it's ever been experienced.
Right.
Like when I was a kid, I was in elementary school, and some of the older middle school girls are explaining to us 69. And we think they've invented 69. We literally think they came up with this concept, and they're like, okay, this is what it is. And we call it 69. And we're like, okay, that's crazy. I didn't know. Okay, now we know this. But we thought that this was an invented act and term by them. So later, we're in class, and my teacher asks someone, like he was saying, giving an example. So he's like, if you say if you pick a number, and then to my friends, I was like 69, like that. And he was
Look
just
how
like,
proud he is. Proud Papa over here.
And then he goes, okay, Gail, get up, get out of the class. And I'm turning to my friends and going, how did he know? And I was like, did you tell? Because I thought that this was a newfangled term by middle school girls. And that was actually what I ended up getting in trouble for. When my mom came, she was like, why would you think that was, instead of saying, why would you say that word, or why would you talk? And she's like, why would you be so dumb as to think a 7th grader invented 69? And this would be a secret in front of your teacher.
That is so funny.
Oh my God.
You really are dumb. Dumb kid. But when you were saying the word cunt doesn't bother you, whatever, that was the term when I was younger. That if you said it in public and there was a lady there, a guy would probably fight you over it. Like, it was the scratch across the album.
Well, anytime
Everyone
I say it,
gets
I'm
quiet.
always around somebody that's like, oh, don't say that. And
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Still.
I'm like, would you stop
But
it?
it's
Like, you could say anything else. I just hate that word. What?
Yeah.
But it's definitely not what it used. When I was a kid, it was a word that I was like, you don't say in
was
the
off the
presence
table.
of anyone. And it was the most vulgar thing that you could go to. Now, I say, like my girlfriends say.
Cunt. Everyone's always doing that. Because it does seem like at a certain age, college women took the phrase back.
You
And
took it back.
It does make sense because you can't have a word out there that,
Right.
has that kind of power.
I know that my gay friends feel that way about faggot. Like they say it to each other,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh my god, it's fine." Like the more we say it,
Right.
the less it could ever be used to hurt us.
I don't know. That was one with only within the last few years, because I saw in the last New York magazine that Louis C.K. said that's a word that he doesn't use anymore, and he never would have said that.
Right.
A couple years ago, probably about any word, you know what I mean? But he'd said, I don't use it in my act or anything. And that has changed dramatically over the debate over gay rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It means that more than it does any kind of social,
Right.
Or even if you think about the way queer changed in my lifetime, queer was a completely negative word. And now it's like
used
queer,
to describe.
Yeah. And it would
that
be
quickly becomes that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you say we take the word back, suddenly the word is empowered rather than empowering to the other side.
Exactly. So, if you say this is part of our vernacular now, and we use it, they have no weapon against
Well,
you.
if you look at the actual term queer, it only meant unusual, let's say back in the 1930s. So I guess they were saying he's queer. He's basically saying that person is not like everyone else.
Right.
I don't think it was meant, to attack at any time. It was just saying this dude is different.
He's different
than the other boys.
He's a little different.
Yeah. But it's so weird because I think most of like language is always done with the best intentions, whether it's using it or not using it, but it will always morph into whatever,
Right.
But what it will become. It's never really about any certain word. But it gets to that thing mainly based on intention.
Yeah. But it is strange how quickly, like even in a generation, how that can be completely modified.
Right. Well, if you look, though, the elderly people that you were talking about who use racial terms, they never said it in a positive light.
Right.
You know what I mean? None of the men felt like, oh, he's my blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it was always, don't treat me, I'm not your blah, blah, blah. That was always the thing.
So the only thing that changed is like the perception
exactly
of the way that they did it rather than
any racial stuff that I heard was always you play like you smoke like it was never meant in a positive way.
No.
Because people would actually say, can we all just sit here like white men for 5 seconds without you acting that way? And you're like, oh, I see. It's got to be that way. We've got to rise, Stewie, here on this side of the highway. But that stuff is taught to you so young that you're never even aware of it, And it's also the whole thing of we're not prejudiced is taught very, very young.
Yeah, I think a lot of young people within the last generation or two took those cues more so from school than they did from their own parents.
Right.
So what they learned about what was acceptable to how to treat people, how to call people,
your buddies.
Yeah, like that came from that far more than your parents.
Well, I always thought that you were raised two ways. You're raised by your parents and you're raised by your friends. You're raised by that hometown, whatever it happens to hold itself up to.
And both of those probably are a piece of what makes you an adult. Like you probably take a little from each of those. And
then it's your job when you become an adult to go, do these rules that were brought to me, are they working for me? Are they working for society, or is it time to move on? It's amazing how many times you'll hear from people, I wasn't raised that way. And you're like, so what? How you were fucking raised? You were a kid. Why are you sticking to that?
You can learn now for yourself.
Yes, now you
Aren't
can
you
make
40?
your decision. I wasn't raised that way. I always said this, that my neighborhood had a very strong take no shit thing, right? It doesn't work as an adult. You can't constantly be in fights. It's so much better to ignore most things that people in that neighborhood would have thought about, They were always ready to say, if someone slightly did, I mean, you'll see, like you hear about people who shoot somebody because their shoes were stepped on, right? They fucking feel like they're doing it in a positive way. They feel their shoe being stepped on meant they were eventually something bad was going to happen to them. And you're supposed to put them in jail and then help them relearn how to look. Instead, we're putting people in jail and we're just reaffirming that kind of shoe shit.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of being disrespected is completely in your own mind. It's
Right.
how you're going to perceive it.
Yes. Chris, you do very well with being disrespected.
Thank you very much, Ron.
You live that way. You enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it, no.
You say
it makes me angry.
You said it's sexually excites you.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
No hard
He
ons.
loves to be called names. He loves to be, as he puts it, cucked by
no cucking.
Another couple.
This makes me uncomfortable. I had no idea this is where the
learning so much.
Yes. If you and your Dominican boyfriend would like, Chris will come over, and while you guys are enjoying each other, you can yell stuff at him.
All right. Cool. Do we have to pay you for that? Is it like a paid service?
He's paid by the experience itself.
Oh, okay.
This is reward enough for him.
You know what? We ran late today because it was such an important show. The things that we've taught and learned about here today. Christina, always nice when you stop by.
Nice to be here.
And I'm glad you got to enjoy the world of virtual reality today.
Yeah, thank you for that experience. I really feel like I, got something out of this.
You leapt ahead in your evolution.
Yeah.
You're now part of the virtual world.
and that it's just a taste of things to come.
Now, we were thinking about doing a virtual radio show, right? Where people, but is it a movie or a picture?
It could be either. If with like a 3D camera or a 360 camera, we could record something and then upload to like YouTube as a 360 video. It could be,
that would be fun.
It would be video and us like talking and people be.
Yes, I understand how to do a show.
Virtual
that part of it I got. The virtual reality part I don't understand. The real life I do.
It's the virtual where the confusion is. The reality, he's fine.
You'll be wearing clothes, shoes, and if it's up to you, you can put socks on.
Like regular day for you, you know.
It'll keep your feet from sweating.
And so what? People can just kind of sit with you at the table?
Yeah, they would be sitting here doing radio with us.
Such a cool, you have
life
to do
as
that.
you know it. Real life is over.
Yes.
That's done.
This is the beginning of the end.
Yeah. This is the only way Chris has sex now, with his virtual girlfriend. Hello,
Thank you,
Chris.
Thank you, VR.
You went from Vito to VR. Congratulations. Vito, did you upload your Snapchats?
Yes, they are live on Bennington Snap.
I feel like Bennington Snap is dead in the water. You were so far from Blake Lively today.
I didn't want to creep her out. I'm a creepy looking person, I think.
No, you're not. You're a very handsome dude. I was looking at you earlier.
You have kind eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're like the exact personality and like look of like women be like, oh my God, I love
Gentle
him.
Giant.
Yeah.
Gentle Giant.
Women love that.
Very true.
I just didn't want to scare her.
Well, you should know for future that we're not intimidated by you at all.
That's not probably a good thing, is it, Vito?
No, that's.
No, I mean, I just want to give you a big hug.
I like that.
And that's it, though. Nothing more.
Yeah.
I'll take.
Well, my Dominican boyfriend will beat your ass if there's anything else.
I'll take what I could get.
I want to be an America.
You know, they're remaking that.
You know, I saw that movie, by the way.
all
the way through?
All of it?
All the way through.
Yeah.
I like me a musical.
I like me a musical, she says. Good, you're here from the hills. What's your favorite musical?
No,
of all
I don't
time?
know. I'm just kidding.
Chris, you got a favorite musical?
Les Mis.
Yeah.
Wow. Gail.
I would say Hedwig. Hedwig and the
Good.
Grinch.
Dreamgirls.
Ooh.
And mine is still Bye Bye Birdie.
Saw that one too. Look, Dreamgirls.
See? He's
I mean,
huggable.
my heart is exploding.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful movie. I really flipped out when Eddie Murphy lost that award.
I'm glad he left. I'm glad he left.
Stallone and Mickey Rourke are the three Oscar things that have really fucked me up.
You know what? You're a regular guy.
I know.
You really are a regular guy.
And that's why women love him.
Yeah. When three bad actors don't get awards, it's really heartbreaking. All right, that's it for us. Friday, the incredibly funny Ali Wong is the Unmasked, but then 8:30 a.m. you'll hear the hilarious show Comedy 101 right on Raw Dog. Talk to you guys and see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!